like on CD. Like you see your ult, you press Q. That's like as fast as they play it. And since they like don't use ult economy, it's like their ult is like another ability they're gonna use in a fight. So it fucks the ult economy up, and like you can't use like Lucio ult to defensively play against Anzo because like they're so like Anzo's gonna have 3 times his ult and then Lucio's gonna get fucked. So it's not like a Zarya where you can like defend it. So essentially it's like press Q as often as possible and like win with that. But with the alt different, like with the new alts, like they won't be able to do it every fight. So since it's not every fight, they need to think about it. Should I use this fight or should I use the other fight? And then the alt economy comes back, and then like the normal gameplay should come back with it. So maybe they won't play it. Maybe they will too. So I don't know.
Yo,
Some
does that
people
mean I'm drawing
speculate
a
that
portrait?
this team comp is not going to be played on the Overwatch League level after the patch.
Of Jason right now.
So we'll see.
Yeah, but like the
Another
last
question.
server.
Yep.
Regarding like what you guys were thinking coming into this. So I've never done like, or I shouldn't say I've never done, like I don't really think about like changing patches because like we've never played on PTR, at least in a stream before. So this is like a first time experience. So going into this, I kind of wanted to do things, compositions that we're already familiar with. Because,
Yeah, for sure.
like I feel like PTR is a variable, and like we didn't want to do like 2 variables and like different comps and then PTR. So are you guys doing things that you're
No,
comfortable
we're
on?
doing what we were doing, what we would have done on live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing
I mean,
special
but
for
this
PTR.
is definitely not comfortable for us though. I don't feel it would be.
Okay.
No, as in this is what we would do on live servers versus
Yeah,
PTR. There's
yeah.
nothing special for PTR that we were
Okay.
doing.
Yeah. There's like if we wanted to think about PTR, we would maybe not run the Moira here. Maybe. I
Okay.
don't even know. But we don't think about PTR that much either, but it's like on like I'm just saying that we're trying to practice this because it's like what the pros are playing right now, but essentially they might not even be playing this, so we don't
Okay.
know yet. So we were like for your information,
Mhm.
we were a really big like 3 DPS team. So we
Okay.
essentially only played 3 DPS on like almost every map,
Okay.
and maybe goats in like one map, maybe. And we were trash at goats, so we don't know like what we're playing right now or what we're doing or anything. So
Got
we're
it.
trying to like find our identity in 222 right now. So
Okay.
we're trying stuff, but yeah,
All right.
we haven't found anything that's
The
good.
last-
This is Zarya Reaper? They have Zarya Reaper. Zarya Reaper.
They have Ryan
Lucio.
too. They have Ryan.
Alright, sweet.
Go mega lults.
Go blub blub.
That's a Zoria.
I'm pulling out. See what we got.
Should I talk about the composition that we're running here too?
Yeah, but I wanted to wait until we
Have it too.
see it. But yeah,
Actually.
essentially, you have a press W win composition. You have a like a Reaper, a Doomfist. Yeah. You have like the most press W comp I've ever seen with 222.
Yeah, so this is like our King's Row thing, and we've been experimenting it with more and more. So our main tank player, or at least this main tank player, Sildan, he's like a fairly aggressive Ryan player. So a lot of times we've realized that say if we run like a low resource healing composition, like I don't know, like Mercy Lucio or something, and if he's playing Reinhardt, like he tends to like either require too many resources or like he just doesn't get what he needs. So we were like, all right, screw it, like we'll just have all close range heroes, we'll give you like what you need and just walk forward and hope for the best.
Yeah.
So I think here we're running Reaper Doomfist, but
Yeah.
like with how the Overwatch League is developing, I've been wondering if we should run a Mayon attack here just for like I feel like offensive walls are getting more popular.
Instead of Doomfist.
Yeah, either instead of Doomfist or instead of Reaper. I think they're both viable.
I think Reaper is a kind of a good idea here, and kind of fucks him up.
Mhm.
I think that Doomfist does a really good job too, but like yeah, it's a good thing to wonder. I don't have it. Maybe,
I actually
maybe
think.
depends on you.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on YouTube too. So I don't know. Maybe not. But essentially, I thought the Doomfist was weird. You could have went Doomfist Sombra, which is really good too.
Mhm.
Doomfist Reaper works. I mean, like it's kind of weird. It's like just press forward, get a pick, and then just run on them.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, if we played like perfect Overwatch here, we would destroy you with our comp, but
Mhm.
like get destroyed. So
Well,
we'll see. We'll see what happen micro, but essentially here,
mhm.
like exactly at this point,
Yep.
like a big wall could have fucked you up really hard.
Mhm.
But we'll see what happens.
I think that
Good luck.
oh sorry, yeah, I think that
Yeah.
I think Doomfist works better into like Ryan's area. I feel like because like
Yeah, for
you
sure.
can play for tank displacement a lot easier versus the Orisa. But one of our issues with Sombra comps right now, so I'm like the main projectile player, and then Inertia is our hit scan player. So normally like he'd be playing Sombra, but usually we find that like my Sombra is somewhat better than his. But like an issue we have is where, so I do a lot of the shot calling, but like when the Sombra goes for like deep flanks and things, like they're great for like of course Sombra's good for like scouting and everything, but I have trouble like shot calling from like the
Yeah.
back line, the enemy's back line.
For sure.
So we've been struggling figuring out how to manage that dynamic. So
That would be more
I mean,
trying to restructure the comms in general.
Yeah.
If you're going to want to run that sort of comp, you could still be main shot caller, but have somebody just feed information from the front line.
I mean-
and then you decide you macro from the Sombra perspective.
yeah,
but essentially, yeah. I mean, you don't even have to like practice Sombra that much right now. Like a lot of people say that she might be less played with the new patch, so we'll see.
we shall see.
But with the since like she was really good at essentially Sombra's job was like getting alt winning fights, but
Mhm.
with the alt disadvantage here, like she might not be played that much.
Mm-hmm.
So you shouldn't like switch your whole comp. And this is like diamond level, so like we don't have to do perfect comps, honestly. Like we talked about the comps before, but as we can see in the scrim, we're gonna like switch it up to something that we're more used to, I think,
Mhm.
and like we're better at it. But essentially, thinking about comps is good, but like you don't have to like just switch your things just because like use something that like people are used to and are better at
Mhm.
is probably a better idea at this level than like just
Yeah, yeah.
push optimal comp.
Left.
Essentially, we
Ryan,
wanted to
Ryan,
experiment the new comps here, but yeah. So the wall is good
Ryan's
here,
still
but
one, Ryan's still one, Ryan's still low. No shield for
we
five,
can't be
four,
like we're not pushing him
three,
enough.
2, it's down.
I'm peeing on you.
There's a Reaper
all.
behind.
Reaper's behind.
He has no Wraith right now. Doom behind as well.
Doom half, Doom half.
Ryan's low, but my shield's at 1, my shield's down. Putting shield down in corner of point. Ryan. Oh shit.
I'm peeing, guys, but you guys are all low. Okay, I got punched.
Keep up.
Doom's low.
Let's see how far our Moira is.
Doom half, Doom half.
I just want to see
Ryan's low, but my shield's at 1, my shield's down.
Way back in choke,
Putting
I
shield down
believe.
in corner of point. Ryan. Oh shit.
Peeing, guys, but you guys are all low.
So basically, what happened in that first point or first fight? We broke Ryan's shield, and then they broke Orisa's shield right after.
Yeah.
And then because of their insane close range damage, it's like we really can't contest them without a big shield or a way to press forward with the May freeze. So
Yeah.
them breaking our shield so fast, we couldn't really pressure them with the Reaper in our face.
Yeah, essentially here I think like you both had a like one pick, so it's like 1v1, and then I feel the Orisa's better at like skirmishing like that if you break Ryan's shield. So you guys kind of had the advantage here.
Hmm.
But essentially more altered. And that's what won the fight. So the biggest difference I would feel is that like here more altered. That's what I'm trying to like see what's the ult percentage on Armora. Because I
Hmm.
like we can watch it again, but essentially here
Why did
I think
spawn facing the other
the
way?
I think we
only-
popped Merle.
Go marblub.
You think so?
I think
Let's
so.
see. I don't think so.
That's a Zoria.
I think in general the
Pulling
Ryan's
out,
area
so we
comps,
got-
well, like versus Orisa comps, like more the Ryan's area Moira should have the ult advantage because I think Ryan ends up taking more poke damage, but not
Yeah.
like non-lethal poke damage that Moira can heal up versus like Orisa.
Left.
Yeah. So essentially here we use
Team Bolt Zarya runs one.
Ryan's still one,
here we don't kill Ryan, which is like oof.
Ryan's still
But
low.
that's okay.
No shield for 5, 4, 3, 2, It's down.
I'm peeing on you
There's a Reaper
all.
Yeah, I
Fine.
think we just got too afraid once the barrier went down. We
Yeah.
probably could have regressed, yeah.
So here we used healing defensively, but we should probably like if we wall like this, we probably want to like just run on
Aggress.
the Rhine and like kill him.
He has no Wraith right now.
Yeah,
Behind
I'm
as
going
well.
back and replay. I can find that Moira ult charge for
Doom,
you.
doom half, doom half.
Ryan's low, but my shield's at 1. My shield's down. Putting shield down in corner of point.
So here-
Ryan. Oh,
Here we get a pick, like each team get a pick,
Peeing,
but
guys,
here
guys are all
you
low.
use ult and like
Okay, I got
essentially all destroyed us. I don't see it, but I'm gonna try again. No.
86
You
or was
Yeah,
that-
no, I got it. Okay, so our
Oh,
Moira
there we go.
ults at 3:27 on the clock, and your Moira's at 76%.
Yeah. So essentially here we get fucked by Moira ult.
I think.
This is the
it.
like,
Oh,
I
never
don't
mind.
think so.
I think this
They
is the
got
main
too
thing.
much when we were gone.
We like don't capitalize on
Um,
the speed,
focus
and then
more on
Pushing up
breaking
the
we don't
thing
use
out.
speed. We don't capitalize on the wall, and
Everybody.
then we get
Full
fucked by
blizzard.
Moira. Here are we together?
Full blizzard. Okay.
Are we -1 right now? I think we're -1, right?
No.
I have pull in 4,
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
He has Shatter soon.
they're gonna grab.
Nice, nice wall.
Nice wall, nice wall.
I'm out of
Nice
mech.
grab, I think.
Reaper 1, Reaper 1. No Wraith.
They're gonna grab.
She's grab, killer,
Yes,
please
yes,
grab.
grab.
I'm trying to pull them back a little bit.
Doom half-ish.
Nice pick.
Huge strike.
Go, go, go. Go, sorry,
Reaper in the back.
One, nice.
Reaper in the back. Reaper in the back. Reaper in the back.
It's just Reaper.
Push, push, push.
Man, I was so ready for that grab, dude. I'm so mad I got shattered.
So that was a good wall. That kind of saved us, and then
Yeah, on the shatter.
And that grab was like a mistake on our part. Like he thought that the fight was more winnable than it actually was. Like in hindsight, I don't think he would have committed
I
that.
have it now. 1 second.
They popped a lot of ults.
So here we have a lot of ults. You guys need to talk about ults right now. We'll see
Oh.
if you do better.
Do not
Shatter.
pay
Yeah,
attention
they
to
use shatter
comms this
grab.
scrim blue.
Okay.
They're
Oh.
very, very bad this scrim.
About talking about ults.
Just in general, comms are really, really poor.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Wanna pull them together now? There's only 2 of them in the pull.
Back up, back up, back up, back up.
Move back a bit.
Reaper no Wraith.
Pull in 4. I'm gonna die.
Oh, Jordan.
Shit.
Stay
Reaper
far,
in
sorry.
the back.
Yo, Zarya on the right. Zarya on the right that I saw.
Good bomb.
That-
Oh, oh.
Essentially here we like didn't listen to Reaper on the back, and then we like get fucked by him.
Because so in that situation, when I TP'd behind, like I had a feeling that the Hanzo or the Moira would turn around and scout me, but then like I didn't like instantly get destroyed, so I suspected that
They
something was off, so I went for it.
tried to
Yeah,
pull
I
out
mean,
since-
You did it,
I'll
yeah.
bring
But
him
essentially
out.
here we needed
Are we contesting?
some PLs and we didn't have it, and then we fought in like such a weird place. Like we fought with like no real distance between the Ryan and the Zarya shield. So like Ryan could like move back and forth
Mhm.
in the Zarya shield and like win.
We have to, yeah.
So this is like so Jordan, like here you like are you here, Jordan, still? Jordan, are you here?
Oh,
Hello?
yeah, sorry, I'm eating lunch.
Okay.
Wait, just wait.
So are you like here? You placed your shield like up front.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you see what happened there?
No, wait, go back. Sorry.
Essentially here you like you play like here. Back up a bit.
I don't have mech to remember that. Okay, I have it now. 1 second.
They popped a lot of ults.
So
There.
you guys play like
Shatter.
here. So this is good if we like do a lot of damage to them, but essentially if they can get to like the house where they went, we need to fucking back out and like play like
Yeah, they use
really
shatter
back.
grab.
Okay.
Oh, something I should
Wanna pull them
mention.
together now?
So, in the previous fight, like the fight where you guys wiped us,
Yeah.
what we were trying to do that fight was, I was calling to the team, we were trying to deny you guys of the bookstore position. Like as soon as we capped first point, that's why we were being so aggressive. Because like I feel like with that Arisa comp, the bookstore can be pretty powerful. But like this entire time, like one of our focuses is like trying to get fights in like these corner areas where it's like a lot more difficult for an Arisa to operate compared to Ren.
Yeah, but this is like exactly where you guys want to play.
There's
Like you're
only
like in the
two of
corner,
them in the pool.
Back up, back up.
Yeah.
and like here,
back up.
like we need to sit back out, but this is like way too late, Jordan.
Okay.
And then here we heal. What? Okay, and then we're using heal right now, but like we need to back out, so I don't know why.
Oh, Rain
Pulling
Lucio.
four.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
Oh, Jordan.
Shit. Reaper.
Yeah, Jordan, you just like press S too late. That's what happens there.
Okay.
And then we should have like probably like stabilized here. Wait.
I have the.
Reaper on right.
Probably stabilized here, and this is like a way better place to like fight than where we were.
I think this is the previous fight.
Pulling four. I'm gonna die.
Oh, Jordan.
Shit.
Oh,
Reaper
sorry.
in the back.
Yo, Zarya on the right.
Would you
Zarya.
consider like that bomb and blizzard like a poor timing, or would you consider that viable? Because I feel like in a way they're both like zone
You get out.
and like
No,
space
I
control
think
ultimate.
that was more of a last-ditch effort to try to
Yeah.
stabilize.
Gotcha.
Everyone
Because we
press
popped a lot of ults there. We wanted to, as Jason put in the chat, we wanted to pull Blizzard that. But since we lost our main tank, I think we just pressed Qs.
Got it.
Alright, they have grab again.
But yeah, Blizzard,
If
Diva Bomb
they-
is
You
I
can
don't.
grab.
It's
I
not
can
really
grab
something
you.
that we should be using together.
It's
It's more of
bringing
a.
out.
It's like
Bring
what is it? EMP and
Yeah.
grab. Use one or the other.
Just wait, just wait. Wait till
Makes
Diva's
sense.
here. We can go now.
Yo, I'm just gonna do it now. Oh,
You needed to
Reaper, no, right.
rescue faster, but that's
Sorry, no
okay.
team. Gonna
I'm
try and
trying.
cart.
They're gonna grab. They're gonna grab. They're gonna grab.
Yeah, I thought I was safe.
They're
Careful.
not gonna need it.
I'm gonna swap the hog.
Do you guys have an ult tracker?
We should have, but we're doing a terrible job right now.
oh,
I got it.
We switched our healer switched roles
Mhm.
from
Yeah.
like tank to healer. She was alt tracking, but like she's not doing it right
oh.
Okay.
So
I'm
I don't
trying to
know.
pull them back.
Because our main ult tracker, which is one of our support players, wasn't here tonight.
Never mind, I'm good.
How
Yeah.
do we do?
We're like really doing a bad job alt tracking right now.
Miriam, what's hook at? What's the cooldown?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's see the hook combo.
Pulling now.
Oh, I don't see it,
Oh, I
but
got Ryan.
it missed.
Alright, I'm gonna bongo this fight.
They have shatter.
I mean, you guys knew. You guys told before the fight, but like we didn't talk about ults and then get fucked.
Alright.
Yeah.
We need to go stall now.
Reaper's half to the right.
Yeah, like you said, Tex. Comms are like not great right now.
What?
They
How
weren't,
did that get
they
me?
weren't really good at all tonight or last night.
Oh, I got
Just wait till the Lee Chang game.
The Reaper and Doom are pretty much jumping the back line. I think we should try break a second heal,
Great.
But
or do we not want to try? her?
we could. I haven't tried it at all.
Wait, are you guys getting hard dove by Reaper?
No.
He's just
Yeah, I was
TP'd him
like,
back
well,
a
with
couple of
more
times.
Lucio, you don't really need to worry about fuels as
So if I'm
much.
not mistaken, I think here we run a Far Widow on defense.
You do.
I do. Okay, we do.
But if it's
Okay.
on, I'm gonna.
So something we were worried about coming into this is like, so we've scrimmed against you once before, and
Mhm.
so wait, Link said he's Toph. Is he Toph?
Yes.
Okay, so like, oh god. So last scrim, like, it was just like, it was insane. I remember, like, we played Gibraltar last scrim, and you guys were on attack, and you got to third checkpoint, and I was playing Genji, and we're playing Dive on Defense, and I had 0 limbs and 7 deaths. Like, it was like, it felt like you peek out, and he just kills you. So, like, we know that Aiden's like a good, or sorry, Inertia's a good Widow player,
Mhm.
and he was saying after, like this Widow's like forcing me to like hold angles, I can't be aggressive, and he's like super good. So, like, going into this,
You
like
wanna know the funny part?
yeah,
Widow is not actually his best hero.
is his best hero Tracer?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Like by far, like 100% by far, Tracer is best hero.
but like just in general, like with
He
the Far Widow on
considers himself
defense,
a trash Widow.
like
But yeah,
the comp is supposed to like anticipate the attackers running some kind of hit scan, but like the Widow's supposed to be able to like limit the opposing widow's angles, if that makes sense, to the point
Yeah.
where like Far actually has space to operate. So I guess like this like during this defense, like we, or at least I had suspected that like Link would play Widow and it'd be tough, but like it's kind of like you scrim, you get wrecked. So
I mean, we'll see.
I'm gonna
But
try this.
I
If
feel
it's really
here,
bad, I'm just gonna.
here, yeah. I mean, I like Fire Widow, so
Hmm.
I really like it. My team doesn't want to play it, but I really like
No,
it.
what?
Nice
what?
one.
I said we should play.
No, you
Fire
guys
Widow.
don't want to fucking play it.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Really
god.
good.
Alright.
It's okay. Miriam and Jason says it's trash.
I have Sonic on the Widow.
Oh,
She grappled. I have Far as well, looks like.
This is a feels bad moment for you guys. Did you see what happened there?
What, the shield broke and we're still on joke?
No. The Roadhog missed a fucking easy
Oh,
hook.
oh that.
Like
yeah.
the easiest hook of his life.
Okay, putting on shield. Pulling above shield now.
Oh, quick question for you guys.
Yes.
So we have an Ana here, and we position the Ana on the leftmost window, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Like
no.
from the Sanzo's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one that's like closest to hotel if you drop down.
Yeah,
So
up top.
if
yeah.
you guys are playing Ana here, where would you, which window would you put Ana, or like
I mean-
I don't know, where would you put Ana?
Essentially, like at the place where the double snipers can't see her. Anywhere is good if the snipers can't see her, because she has like there's no pressure on the Ana here.
Mhm.
Like if the snipers can't have a line of sight of her, she's
Mhm.
like completely alone and not
Okay.
like. So, if you see double sniper, put her at a place where like the snipers can't see her, and then she's Gucci for the rest of the game. Honestly,
Yeah, like
that was a good place,
Mhm.
but other
Like,
places like good too.
I agree with that. And you see like the window that Hanzo can see right now, like up top. So our Ana player, like, okay, when we first started doing this on defense, he would start there, and then if we scout snipers, he would rotate. But sometimes we realize that like during that like couple second rotation, like if that's like one of the crucial moments of the fight where like the attacking team's engaging and you lose all that healing, like we found that to be too detrimental, so we just stick him in the safe window like from the get-go.
I mean, she could play anywhere, honestly.
Mhm.
She should not play at the same place each time too. But
Okay.
like,
like
she
each
could
fight?
play. She could play back right.
Mhm.
Maybe not like back right here is okay too if the snipers are like you can place back right at the place where the snipers can't see you.
Mhm.
It's not the best place, honestly. The back left corner is probably the best one. But if the snipers like know that it's always there, then they might like peek and like shoot. But I don't think at our level they're gonna have enough situational awareness to do it.
Gotcha.
I didn't have.
Yeah,
hooks
it's a
yet.
good idea. Anywhere that the snipers can't see you.
Mhm.
Alright, I'm gonna
Girls
push
on the
forward.
ground.
I have it in 3, 2.
Here again,
One.
okay, you get it. So here the fight is lost. This is essentially why you run a Mei here.
Oh,
But
Before you get to damage.
with double snipers, essentially if you get a pick you win. Like, but here we kind of
they're down.
Good pick.
get a pick. We'll see what happens, but
Any heals?
we shouldn't be able to win this because we got the second pick.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, the Lucio before we get
Give me 1
that.
second reloading.
They're gonna res.
Oh my god.
They're gonna
But
try to res.
Jason's
They res
doing
the,
Jason
they
things.
res hog.
Far stop right.
Pulling above shield.
Mercy's low. Mercy's low.
Oh my god, again.
Here, I'm
stuck.
Barrage here.
Oh,
Watch out, watch out.
shield's done.
Reloading,
No shield
reloading.
for 2.
I don't think I actually do have Barrage here.
Far's
Oh
one
no.
in the air.
Okay.
I don't
Hopper,
think
Widow,
I
Pulling
do.
above shield.
I'll
Or
check
Widow.
right now.
No shield for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulling above.
Jordan's doing the 3-1 for his shield, but he's not saying it for his ult, which is like fucking triggering me.
For
Jordan,
the yeah.
Jordan,
What?
I think Miriam mentions that later on too.
Yeah. I fixed it towards the end of the scrim. I wasn't really calling it.
yeah, you're doing 3-1 for your shield, but not for your ult. Like, come
Mhm.
on, dude.
Oh, shield.
Okay.
Not there.
Oh, another question. So
Yeah.
when you're calling pull hooks, so the way we started doing it is that the Arisa player, he'd go 3-1, and then the countdown would end when he's pressing the first right click, like when he's shooting the projectile. But recently, I think that it's better to count down towards when you're actually doing like the suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Because you
guys-
can always the
honestly,
hog should be looking out for the ball going anyway. So knowing when he's gonna actually halt everybody into the middle is way more better. Because the delay in the hook going and the actual pull is very close. So it's
Yeah.
probably better to get it when the halt's actually going through.
Okay.
I personally don't care on how it's done. Like it's player preference at that point. But like if the
Because-
player does it each time, then it's good. Whatever he does.
Mhm.
If he wants to call bananas, I wouldn't care. If he wants
be honest-
banana time, then like at least he's saying it each time.
Playing hog with an Orisa, as long as you're just aware that the Orisa's gonna halt, you don't even need the countdown to get it, because you have enough of an indication when the line comes up for the polls that it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah, but as a
It's good for
as a
priming for
Orisa-
sure.
As a Orisa, you need to like prep it though. Like
Yeah,
ask the dog if he
knowing
has
the
banana,
prime, yeah, for sure.
thing and, like,
Priming the hook is definitely good. I agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the countdown should even like should be more about like before the alt goes out, than then like the sucking, like
Mhm.
so say okay, are you ready? I'm gonna do it, and then the one like say yeah I'm ready, and then you go.
Yeah.
You don't like 3 2 1 at the end is like optional, but trying to prep it and making
Mhm.
sure like the cooldowns are okay like is probably the better idea than like that's what XQC does a lot.
Mhm.
Like he asked for like the Roadhog's cooldown instead of like going 3 2 1. He does a bit 3 2 1, but not that much. It's more about like doing it at the right time and position wise being good.
Yeah. Totally.
Shield
Help her,
for two,
help her,
behind us.
help her,
One.
Nice. I'm here. And you can pull whenever.
Pulling above shield.
There was close window.
Again,
to the
we
right
missed
now.
a hook.
No, she got the hook.
Yeah, she
Oh, really?
Yeah, shoot the hug.
In the back. Mercy resing, Mercy
Oh, I
resing.
can't reach you. Okay.
Mercy resing in the back. I'm dead.
Sure did.
The res already got off.
I'm pushed,
I think
I'm
we're gonna be able to cap.
There's a hog still. Okay. Cool.
There's a Anna still here.
I mean, that was a long ass fight because, like, since they got the first pick, we actually won it at the end because, like, we popped off.
Yeah.
But, like, there was, yeah, we were a big disadvantage to win that fight. That's why it took so long.
I think
Oh,
that
who plays
like
Spark?
we also like mainly our DPS and like as a consequence of that our tanks too, like, but mainly starting with the DPS, like we were playing like a little too scared, like especially after that Lucio pick we should have been more
Should've took
aggressive.
the advan- Yeah, but essentially the you got the Lucio pick, but like 2 seconds after Dex got a shot.
Yeah.
So it's like you couldn't have like really went.
I
for
think you played it well by
Yeah.
pressuring the Widow as the pharmacy.
Mhm.
So that really gave us a run for the objective. Because like I dropped back to try to help contest you
Okay.
and
I'll play-
the Mercy in the back as well.
And
so we
you're-
only had
you're the
2 people
Hanzo,
in
right?
front. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
So
play card. I'll play card.
that kind of that was the right play.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Get the staggers if we can.
I'll play cart.
Here, like, we don't talk about ultimates, which is a travesty, but okay.
I don't think we really do
Versus half.
for
you can
the
heal them
majority of
with
the
the
scrim,
Nova.
honestly.
Well,
I
yeah,
know,
let's go
but
get
like,
this thing, yeah.
I need to
Nope,
say,
nice pick.
Yeah, let me know when you have a halt. I can drag into it.
I have nano by the way.
They were
Pulling,
Alright,
whatever.
oh, okay. Next halt, we dragon, okay?
Okay.
Let me know when you have it.
3.
Far
Well,
behind.
okay.
ish.
Are you pulling them all now?
It was
far
behind
possible.
shield. It was 2.
that was a good attempt. But if
I'm
you had
not-
the team
back,
behind
back,
you,
back.
maybe.
Maybe push
Sorry.
cart, we're not pushing cart.
Wait, I
Why did we alt this? Holy
have
shit.
nothing else to use after.
Okay, I have hook.
Alright, no
Was,
shield
do
for
you think
2.
that beat
Carl's
was meant to
one
be like? Do you think that Lucio was intending to go aggressive with that, or was that supposed to be
No,
defensive?
No, that was to help the Orisa, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she just, like, saw someone low and then she
Yeah.
pressed. That's what happened, I think.
Down now.
I have hook. I have hook.
Barrage, watch barrage, watch
No,
barrage.
no pull.
What the fuck?
Pulling
There's a
now.
nano far in the back.
I killed
I
myself
think,
at the end.
Jordan, you're pulling too low. Like, it's behind their shield, and I can't hook that. So do a little bit higher.
Maybe I guess I'll just save it for barrage.
Beat?
Yeah.
You just used the barrage.
Should probably, yeah, I need to tackle Barb
They have
because
a
There's
Hanzo?
a hog
she
right
needs to
here.
use it aggressively,
the
probably
left
here,
side.
maybe.
He's out. He's out. All right. I have hook.
Here switching to May would have been crazy pog, but no.
Yeah,
Nice.
May is really good on
Oh,
second point.
first-
Squirrel's on the ground.
Reloading, reloading.
There's a
I
Sonic
have
on her.
hook.
Shield down. Oh, my shield's kind of far back.
You guys need to push.
No shield for
You guys need to
5,
push.
4, 3,
More pushing.
2, 1.
They have no fortify.
Pulling. I don't know if you guys did that.
That was a little late
Oh,
call.
Widow's
Please, please.
stops.
Widow's on point.
Now they're like back to full strength. Otherwise, not.
Spoiler.
Jordan, you need to press your advantage more.
Okay.
Thanks.
Nice.
Alright, I'm gonna pull them out here. I'm gonna.
The
try to
resing?
pull them
Hug, hug,
out.
hug, 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 hug.
Oh, that shit feels bad.
Yo, Mercy one.
Dragon in the window. Oh no, Ana.
You're all
pulling.
critical.
Just get them off of me.
It's hog on point.
Way back.
Ah.
Ursa's anti. Ursa's anti.
I'm
Nice.
Is it winnable?
Yeah, it's winnable
Oh.
for sure.
You guys got it.
Have walls.
Do you have long swans? Okay, nobody got long swans. We're good.
So we eventually
Have
win.
walls.
but-
Oh wait.
We have
Lost
a-
left the
game
Pause,
cost.
pause, pause,
That's.
pause.
Yeah. I think we're doing okay right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
hog,
hog to the
hog
right.
right side.
Here
I'm just
we're
trying to hook. Push on
considering
hook.
switching to
I don't have
get
hook.
some more high ground advantage or push past this with the
Use the
shields.
Z.
I have hook.
Because I think Jason
Alright,
wasn't
shield
able
is
to get too many shots on. He was just spamming into Orisa shield.
Mhm.
So he was considering going May. I think we do switch to May here.
Bad spot. No.
It's going right side.
Thanks.
Yeah, dude, I jump into this. Don't watch. Avert your eyes.
Oh god.
Okay. No. Oh.
No.
Above.
Oh,
You guys are menace too. You shouldn't be fighting this.
Oh, I'm peeing so
trying to
hard.
I have
steal you
hook.
Why
out
are
of
we
it.
fighting
Oh,
still?
I pulled. I just pulled.
You're
Oh,
down
be
one right now.
careful.
Okay, we
We're
need to
still down one.
Yes,
maybe,
yes.
yeah.
I'll come back.
sock,
Pulling
sock.
our
Just
Hanzo.
back. Press S. Good job pressing
Oh,
S.
can you heal through this?
Ooh.
Nope.
Okay, yeah, I'm out of here.
Do they have bongos or do they just pop it?
No,
Oh,
don't
Oh,
fight.
next
Don't
fight,
fight.
next
It's minus one, guys.
Yo, I don't have
HP.
any.
Fucking fight.
On
I
the
have
right
hook
side.
and
Right.
floor.
Oh, I got
Omega.
pulled. Oh, I didn't have
And
fun.
you guys use
Oh,
heal.
Shit.
Oh.
Oh, okay, run out.
I tried to help you.
Yeah, this
but
was really bad,
it's
Tiger.
I didn't have
That's
fun
a
on my shit.
messy fight.
It gets worse. I get staggered here. I missed my jump and I get hooked.
Do we make swaps? Question mark?
Do you think I should switch back to Ana?
I mean,
Up to you. It's up to
I
you. Like,
have coalescence, so I
it's
guess
a
I'll
big
just
I
use
mean,
that.
you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I can beat to go in if you guys want.
I'm gonna use it first.
Do they have
Yeah.
nano or no?
did you use it?
No, they
With a top right.
I have my ult.
I have hook for you.
Okay, pulling now above shield.
speed it.
Oh, shit.
They don't have
kidding.
pull.
Oh, ours is really low.
Pulling
There's a
above.
Hanzo behind.
Hanzo behind.
I got.
Yeah, he was trying.
I couldn't really.
Okay, yeah, back up. Yeah, stop backing up.
There's just one point where
He was
I'm in a
shooting
deep
through that.
flank as Hanzo.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Was that moment right there? No.
No.
It was the I don't know if it was the dragons or if it was the second time, but basically like I walked through the entire team.
Yeah, I called it.
Yeah, you
Wait.
can hear
No.
the call.
Yeah, I
You're
have
gonna
it.
see it. It's coming up here, I think.
Pulling above shield.
It's right after you dragon. I'm like, there's a Hanzo and Mini right here.
He's behind us. He's behind us. By mini left side.
Where?
Over here. He's over here left somewhere.
And then you drop off of,
Behind. He's still
Catwalk.
behind.
Didn't call
To the
it
right.
out.
and then you just walk
Shit, I'm
out.
low HP.
I missed so many shots. Yeah. It sucked.
Pulling above, I pulled a little too high. Fuck. I got pulled as I was doing it.
Like, I can't believe, like,
On the top right.
I don't have bongo to counter that.
I have.
that's
This
a
is where we
auto
both
press
missed,
is
like,
too-
9
Pulling
shots.
above where there should
Yep.
be-
It's like,
Shoot her. Orisa one.
They rest.
Hanzo. Oh shit, I pulled their hog. My bad, Marion.
Stop.
thanks God Tex is here to carry this
Widow
shit
left.
out of us.
Careful.
Should I pull her
Press
out or
Sonic
are you
on.
good?
Oh
Nice.
no, Tex, what's happening?
I could have killed her,
Very
but I missed. And then she died.
It's okay, she's dead.
Yes.
You know, you guys didn't. The fact
Oh,
they
May,
didn't
May,
get
May,
OT,
they
that
have
was
May.
surprised me here.
May on me?
It's like 0.1 seconds.
That
I'm
was it.
trying to.
Mercy,
Got
mercy,
her
point, mercy dead.
Not OT,
Thanks,
lol.
0.1.
Slaps.
It's crazy, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially here there was so much, but essentially the biggest thing, Jordan, since you're here, you need to like be wary of like preparing your ball for like Miriam and shit, and like making sure you communicate them better. You communicate good. You communicate your shield good, but like aside from that, that's pretty. And then you guys need to like think about alt economy because that wasn't a thing. And then yeah, the comms were like all over the place.
Yeah.
But I find kind of odd about this whole like that like match there was how like I feel like the DPS were playing like fairly passive, but like the Mercy just like
Jordan,
just like flew into the middle of like got all nowhere, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna res this. Like that's what I find really odd, how like the Mercy's being like super
But Sean,
aggressive.
She's living though.
Yeah.
for your pulls, you're like pulling, and then it's
I'm calling it
literally
right
yeah. As
I
you
think
do it, and I
Anubis
don't-
is
I'm
a
not
pretty
gonna-
good map to look at because it was a
I
tie
would
there.
easy
Like
Mercy and
both
you
teams
Hana.
got held. Both teams capped first point, but got held by second.
On
Easy true.
on Anubis,
Can we watch Lee
we
Zhang, though?
wasted a lot of time doing. Well, first we were trying to set up a nade, then after that we got staggered a couple of times.
Mm.
So it was a very bad attack, very poor attack.
We can watch
Will-
it.
Can we watch Lee Zhang?
Okay, we can watch Lee Jiang.
Oh Jesus!
I'll be right back. I'm gonna just grab water.
What happened to Lee Jiang?
Wait, can we watch it from my POV actually?
Okay,
Because Blue, there's something I want you to look at for me.
send me the thing.
Yeah.
So here, like, we played like people that didn't play for 3 weeks. We like sucked at like
I
managing
don't
alt
think he's here
economy.
right now, Glue.
What?
I think he said I'll be right back.
I know, but
Here, Blue, I put the link right there.
here.
I think I could just hit add to playlist. There you go, and then
Oh my god, you're a god.
Valiant.
I think it's like oh justice.
Freaking deflecting Genji. I don't know.
There you go.
Dude, SK?
Here it is.
Okay,
It's not on first point. It's on second point, but
I'm
Oh,
gonna
wait.
do
Oh.
the eating.
Did I just
I'm-
fuck it? No, I did. My bad.
Oh, that's a big.
it's right here's where we go.
I mean, are we gonna watch the game or not?
Yeah. It's right here. There you go. Oh. Right here. There you go. Don't move.
Take it.
No, we need to like watch the thing.
Dude, SK? SK is so pog.
SK so what?
Pog. He's one of the my favorite Lucio players.
Are you
Oh,
talking
he's
to
not.
yourself, Jason?
The only one Oasis, right?
Yeah, like a straight out one.
Yeah, that's the only one we lost.
Oh, I got
We won.
Doom Junk Zara or Zarya. Zarya no personal.
This was bad. We should not have fought here against the Junkrat.
Sorry's
Yeah.
low, Sorry's one, anti. Ooh, not anti anymore. She got hit.
It took us way too long to actually realize that the
Rein's
Reinhardt was
launching.
so close.
Doom behind.
Like I turned around at one point, I was like,
Rein's
"Holy
really
shit, that's the enemy Reinhardt!" Like,
Ryan's really low though.
Yeah.
Oh, we might lose this.
I don't know how the fuck you didn't win this. You like hit so much people so much time. We still just lost.
Group up.
I mean Junkrat. You can
Oh, I already
fight
have Shatter.
Junkrat, yeah.
There's Doom behind
yeah, like
you.
basically during that fight, our main tank was like, "Help!" The Reinhardt's just like beating me this whole time, and like everyone ignored him for like the beginning, and then as soon as we realized that like your Reinhardt was being your Reinhardt was like right there, and we all started focusing him, and then
It's
like
kinda, like,
with the
weird
positional
that,
advantage.
You didn't kill anyone here. You like
People here.
got your ult in like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and
I did like 3k damage and I didn't get a single pick.
Here. Be
He's
careful.
still here, still here. Jason. Over here, pack him.
Could have had a free kill on the Doom right there.
You guys need to like speed. Okay.
I have nano.
That's not
Get
speed.
Ryan, he's active.
Okay.
Oh,
You shatter.
You see, I don't know how it hit me though. I was behind the walls, Junkrat. That little wall. I canceled my tire too.
Oh, I canceled 2 ults with
Wait,
that?
we all did?
Yeah, what?
Oh,
Yeah, we
no,
used...
we nanoed the the Lucio and
We
then
nanoed and we nanoed and we used Lucio here.
I'm
Oh.
telling you, dude, this
They
is
use beat, they use beat, they don't have beat, they don't have beat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we.
they don't have-
I
they
think
don't have
we
you.
fat fingered me in the spawn. Yeah, we. I don't think we scouted the fact that you used support ults.
Grav.
Space jam. Space jam?
Yeah.
So it's grab and what?
It's Grav, Nano Doom.
No,
Oh,
no,
no,
just
grab
grab
him.
Oh, okay.
More behind something on me.
I tried to charge the shield out of it, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Where are you?
you got Lucio.
Yeah, but then I get
The
faked.
Overwatch rules
No,
still
I
apply.
turned around, what the fuck?
Yeah. The Overwatch rules still apply. Yes.
Anytime there's a Ryan charging, the Lucio is in the server, he's getting pinned.
Jason, if you can hack the Ryan, I have another shatter.
Yeah, good. Oh my god, you guys thinking about combos. Shit. It's like 100% better.
So we didn't really know how to approach coming into this fight because we knew you have EMP and you probably have Shatter. So we were kind of being hesitant. I think this is a dry fight here from us. I was like, yeah, let's run in and get killed.
Yeah, we were bullying the mess out of your Ryan, honestly. I
Yep.
don't think
Ryan's low.
he shattered at all this entire round.
Hmm.
Can we
He
get
would
an
either
E-
get hacked or...
Oh yeah, the entire time it's like okay, let's go in. It's like, but I'm hacked. It's like okay,
Yeah,
and then like 5 seconds later, it's like okay, let's go in. Oh, I'm hacked again. It's like
Yeah,
help,
but
I can't do anything.
This comp we have right now is essentially bully the rank comp.
Mhm.
It's like Doom and
It's
Sombra. It's like
hack this.
nightmare comp for rank.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy crap.
I mean, like Junkrat is good for situation, but like for retaking shit, like maybe like other things
Okay,
would
we
be better.
EMP nano
maybe.
doom, okay? Next up.
Yes.
They still have
Like if they're playing into you, Junkrat's really good, but if you play into them, Junkrat fucking sucks.
Nanos are due
Yeah.
when I EMP.
The grab once already.
Maybe Anzo if you're good at it,
Very upsetted.
and you want to play projectile.
I think
Maybe
like
spread out again.
something we could work to do is like when we're playing against these comps, like Zarya could try to like because we don't have that much poke damage. Like what I mean, like say like soldier versus like a Junkrat. You know, if Sombra starts hacking your Ryan, it's a lot easier for like a soldier to start canceling that hack. So I think here the Zarya has to take priority in like keeping the Sombra off the Ryan.
Even the Moira maybe could help.
That's true.
It's like a quick like boop.
Yep.
Like Sombra like tell where the Sombra is, and like maybe the Moira could be like more helping some of this.
No, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, here is like EMP.
I hate
We're
Junkrat so
using
much.
ults
I hate Junkrat so
in
much.
a kind of okay way.
Dude,
Why would you ult here?
He's one.
Oh, it's the last fight.
Oh yeah, yeah. Are you talking with me, the Junkrat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
last
don't
fight.
want to use my beat
like
once,
that.
sorry.
Okay.
Dude,
So we actually use ults in a good way.
I
Ult
miss
economy
playing
here.
Ryan so
I
much.
saw him. How did that miss?
Jordan, you're such a better reset, dude.
Guys,
Dude, my Arisa's so
I'll be right back again.
It's so bad.
why can't I play Ryan?
Oh my god, even Jason says it. Look at that ult economy. Okay, so let's see how the fuck we lost.
Oh my god, Blue. Jesus Christ.
Oh, wait, this
Just
is the one I
prepare
want you to
yourself,
watch. This is the
Blue.
one I want you to watch.
Prepare yourself.
Let's see how the fuck we lost this.
Are we playing dive here?
Sure.
So I get to play all the main tanks.
So have you guys checked the video I sent about dive yesterday?
No, not yet. I haven't watched it.
Listen.
Watch that.
Everyone else
Yeah,
is
yeah.
low.
Don't go pharmacy. If you want, you
All
can
the
go Moira
main
as well, by the way.
Listen.
Are we on Gardens or Night Market here?
Not
Gardens.
It's fine.
Oh,
Gardens?
Gardens
Yeah.
works.
Okay.
It worked out, Jason. It's fine.
Gardens is also a map that we're kind of afraid of
Guys, this is the
against
first
like
room
this team
ever that I get
because
to
we thought you were
play
gonna play Widowmaker, and I think it was on Oasis where
Yeah, but, like, he's playing Tracer, dude. It's like way better.
It was good.
but like either way, like we know you have like a high level like DPS duo, and like so the comp we run here is the Winston and Hammond with Faro Widow,
Mhm.
and like in general, like when we play Faro Widow comps, like what we watch out for most is the enemy DPS duo, and I think right we played Oasis before Lijiang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Oasis, like I got like totally shit on as Pharah, so it was like the
Oh.
confidence was low going into this, but like I don't know.
We're at the same
Okay, let's see what happens.
time.
Yeah.
That ball, Winston.
We have to
Uh,
see.
Rowena gets bullied like crazy on this map
But that would've-
by the Hammond Winston.
She's one.
So what is this jump? What's
Yeah, it was.
what's the idea of it?
I was just jumping in to get poke damage. I was just trying to build my ult, but it wasn't smart. It was a bad thing to
Usually
do.
when you want to poke damage, you want to like press W
Yeah.
instead of jumping, because jumping is like
It's your only way to escape, really.
yeah, essentially. And here, I think you're gonna like die, right?
I don't think I do.
Oh, I'm probably gonna die here.
Dude, I can't.
Trying.
Oh, oh,
Yep, you died.
oh, jump was on one.
Maybe having a jump would have helped. I don't know.
Mhm.
One.
Yeah, jump was on one, but it wasn't cooldown. I wonder why. Jordan, you know how to play Winston. I don't know why you do this. Do this to me.
Lucio's half on point.
It gets worse, Gloop.
You probably can't.
Oh, it gets. Oof.
Okay, let's see it. Well, Texas poking off on Farah?
Yeah, I had a good Pharah night last night, dude.
Shit, I got
Yeah, you're always good on fire, dude.
Shit, thank you.
Alright, I'm coming back. I'm gonna be on point.
I need help on point.
Farah,
I'm
you should
coming.
always play Farah or Doomfist.
Oh, I
Like,
can't
that's
help
what
you.
you should play.
Oh, I'm dead.
Boom, boom.
It's a widow coming back with thunder. Watch Rich.
What we have trouble
Yeah.
doing here as a team, when we're going into this, when we're playing like a mobility comp versus another fairly mobile comp, like if I like just looking at the screen right now, right? If we're talking about like obvious dive targets like Ana, right? But then it's like we struggle with like after we kill Ana, and then it's like then what? That's what we struggle with a lot.
You shouldn't dive Ana.
You don't think so?
I mean, essentially, mobility comps is about taking space on the map and then clumping the enemy team up, and then just like jumping onto the enemy team if they're clumped up.
Mhm.
Shouldn't go for one target, one lone Ana in the back. If you do that, that's probably a bad idea, because you clumped up on the Ana. Maybe you killed the Ana, but you're clumped up without cooldown on their like with the enemy range on it. So the enemy could like jump on you and fuck you up. So that's something like I don't know if you're doing,
Actually,
but-
to like emphasize that point, I think in Night Market you guys do that. It was Genji, Diva, Winston jumped on our Ana Lucio, and I think I was there in the back. But our tanks and I think so both supports and me were in the back. I turned around to help Ana with the Diva dive, and both of our tanks and I think Jason went to point instead. So we got really split. We took the point, but right after that, I think we lost the next fight straight away because we got staggered off of the point.
Wait, yeah, is that the one where like half of our guys go to like
Yeah.
your
we
spawn?
basically mirrored exactly what happened. Like half of your team came to our spawn, half of our team went to point.
Yep.
And then you guys were able to retake because we had both of our supports back in our spawn.
And our
So-
back line was wiped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go take my something to eat a second.
Oh,
You guys
okay.
have like 4 minutes. Just watch the two things I linked in
Oh yeah.
you know the video about like dive.
Here, I
Yeah,
reset the two links.
I sent you Ninja the thing. Just watch part 1 and 2, and then we can discuss the thing you just asked about.
I've seen
Let's watch this.
I've seen a few people asking about dive in the Overwatch League and why we see these dive comps, but we don't really see that big dive like we're led to expect. We have 4 or 5 people all jumping in on the same target, and I think this is a sign of this sort of misunderstanding about dives that's quite common, especially in ranked. So I do want to talk about this a little bit. The first thing to understand is, although it's in the name, dive isn't really about diving. It's more about the ability to spread out and skirmish for map control. All of these heroes that we used to seeing in dive, they have range, mobility, and a pretty good duel potential, which really enables them to fill out the map and push out positions. The reason they need to do this is for a dive to be successful, these heroes have to be staged. Winston needs to be in jump range, ideally Genji's in dash range too, Tracer's on that alternate angle. And for those heroes to be able to stage themselves in those positions, they first have to kick the enemy team out of them, or at least zone the enemy out so they can't contest those positions using range damage. Playing for this map control effectively is also going to clump the enemy team up into this nice bundle that makes them really uncomfortable and makes them really very easy to surround and engage onto, to the point where the winner of these fights is more or less decided by the time Winston presses shift and starts the dive. Now, good teams are really aware of this, so they tend to commit hard to skirmishing for map control, as denying those staging areas is often their win condition, meaning that the meat of the fight usually ends up happening long before those teams would even be in a position to pull a dive like the one people expect to see. So to sum up, teams generally really commit to fighting for these staging areas, which is why we see a lot of fights won or lost outside of the scope of that big dive. There are a couple of other reasons that dive isn't so much about diving, and I will cover those in other videos.
Watched it?
But this idea of space
I'm finishing
and
part
map
1.
control is really the foundation. If you look out for this next time you see these comps in the Overwatch League, you'll quickly build a better understanding of just how these high level. Last video we talked a bit about dive comps and how they're not so much about diving, but more about map control and staging, and how a decent team's understanding of this means that we rarely see the type of dives that people expect. However, there are a few situations where teams do have the opportunities to go for these dives, usually as a result of map geometry, where a team's backline doesn't really have the room to back up out of dive range, but teams still don't tend to go for these. A good example to have in your head might be Anubis B, where the defending team's backline usually sets up somewhere around these boxes, and the map is built in a way that the attacking team can often rush 4 or 5 people down the chokes to take a deep dive. But we still don't see these dives for a few reasons. Firstly, these high-level teams are very good at scouting, so guaranteed this backline player has info on the dive, and although they might not survive, they can set up in a way that draws a lot of time and resources out of the enemy team. Another thing to remember is that these teams usually have their own backline, and putting so much into a dive opens them up to a very efficient backline trade, something that any support player is going to be pretty familiar with. These, plus a few smaller things, means it's often too much of an investment to send in a big dive on 1 or 2 targets, but the main reason we don't see them is again going back to that idea of staging and map control. Before, we talked about how dive needs to fill the map and clump the enemy up for a dive to be effective. And if we look at the situations where a team can go for one of those big dives, we can see how it not only opens up the entire map to the other team, but also ends up grouping themselves in that type of dangerous clump that we've already talked about. Meaning that, to the point of view of that other team, who currently control all of those staging areas for free and haven't had to commit any resources yet, they've just been given the perfect opportunity to just collapse on that team and blow them up. And this, in essence, is the idea of counter diving, of setting up for a dive to come in and then catching it. Catching the dive is quite a big topic, and, again, I'll talk about this another time, but understand that this playstyle has been around for quite a long time, so a lot of these teams are very good at it. There are obviously some situations where teams can get away with these dives using big advantages like Nanoblade or Primal, but as a whole, the playstyle of diving has been more or less superseded by the playstyle of catching the dive. And again, if you look out for this next time you see these comps in the Overwatch League, you'll quickly recognize these situations and keep building that understanding of just how these teams are playing dive.
Okay, so I finished both parts there,
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
and I think what's interesting about that.
Does that explain why?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I finished the video.
Does it Ninja, does that answer your question?
Yeah. So what's interesting about that video is, so we play counter dive, like not very often, but like in one specific instance we always play counter dive, which is Hanamura second point on defense.
Yes, fuck this up so hard.
Play Anazen, and you put them in like the back right spawn door.
Right in front of the spawns, yeah.
Yeah. And also sometimes on Nubani too. If you put them on the defense spawn side high ground, people just tend to hard dive that.
Yep.
And like staging is something that we've been trying to work on, because sometimes either me as the shot caller or our tanks will think they see a situation, so they'll be like, oh, I see a support line, I'm gonna go jump on it, when like, or how should I say this, like sometimes we dive into situations where like it's like there's no possible like victory, but we just assume that diving is the best like option even when it's not. So like, yeah, staging is something we've tried to work on a lot, and I think what the guy was talking about in the video about like map control as a win condition, I think no, I totally agree. I think that's super smart. But for now, like our problems with playing dive comp are like dealing with that whole like map control idea is almost like too complicated for like the other problems that we have to work on. Like I think we have more staggering issues of like knowing how to stage and stuff like that. So that I think after we like clean up those parts, I think that's when we'll start working a lot on that whole map control idea.
That's fair.
Yeah, for sure. You just asked about like, so we went
What
for
to
the
do after
honor, we
you?
got
Yeah.
fucked. I'm like, yeah, that's why.
No, yeah, and I totally appreciate you showing me that.
Okay, continuing.
Where is she? Where is she?
Yeah. What you eating, Blue?
What?
You.
What you eating?
Hmm?
What you eating?
Oh, toasts.
Oh, nice.
Just
Mm.
plain
Come on.
toast.
Does it have like avocado on it?
It's a cheddar toast
Okay.
with
Ooh.
some passion fruit
Tomatoes?
caramel on it.
Ooh, caramel.
Oh, getting spicy.
Nice, fancy.
That's like my breakfast.
Let's jump on her.
Wait. They have garage for sure. I've been.
Oh,
I can't see you, monkey.
where? No! Wait,
That feels bad, you know.
I thought I was in
how'd she
bubble
shoot me?
there.
I was in shield.
You got booped out of the shield.
Let me know when you're about to rest so I can DM you.
Oh, sorry, I thought you
They're resting.
Sorry.
Jason's popping off. Lol. Omega lol.
I'm trying to stay with you, Rowena.
Omega lol.
There was just one time on Oasis where he got play of the game on Sombra, and like everyone's like, oh my god.
Never happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was supercharged Sombra, and we're like, holy shit, this man's insane. And like, cause okay, basically, so I tend to like remember the teams we scrim more than our players, cause like, you know, I talk to the managers and I arrange the scrims, and like, the way I'd like refer to your team, I'd be like, oh, it's the team with the Masters Widow player, or be like, oh, it's the team where like one of our guys was like really angry because he kept getting, or one of our Lucio players, he kept getting shot in the head. He started getting really pissed off. So like that's kind of like what our signature was for your team.
Yeah, I mean,
It's crazy.
that's a sad face, you know.
Text. I'm reloading.
I'm on her! Oh, Miriam. Bye bye.
Oh, no, Mary.
Oh my god, my heart.
Lucio, right side T house.
I'm getting on this widow. Oh, we killed her already.
Be careful.
What? Why would you jump there?
It's fine. It's fine. I get out. I get out here. I think.
Yeah,
I
this
think-
one
I
is when
think-
you get out.
Why would you jump here?
It's fine. Watch.
Can't see you.
Give me
Nice.
the mega and I'm out.
No. That's the next one.
It's the next one.
That's the next one.
Oh no. Oh
Let's
no.
Let's see if you use your cooldown. If you need to use your cooldown.
Oh, he's gonna use all his
No.
cooldowns. Blue. Just you wait, dude.
I have thermal ride.
She's coming back to spawn right now.
Hey, first time I heard someone listing a. Why last map you guys fucking destroyed them with alt economy. This time you never talked about alt. What's happening, guys?
You're
What's
gonna see
happening?
exactly why in a second, Blue.
Okay.
There's one white room.
Widow man.
Everything's gonna be explained soon.
Pharmacy, right side.
Jumping on the widow. My widow. I have thermal ragi. Oh, you're bombing
where did
into
the bomb?
Oh my god! What?
Slides into the
Okay,
thing.
okay, let's rewind. I wasn't ready for this.
No, I guess where's Blue? Just wait.
I
Just
know.
let it go.
Give me the mega and I'm out.
Oh, this is way back.
Come back with bomb.
Okay, let's see it. I wasn't ready. I wasn't
I have
in the
thermal
right
ride.
state of mind.
She's coming back.
The
to
bomb. The
don't-
bomb
don't
isn't
drink-
what you're gonna watch. The bomb.
Don't drink
isn't
your
what-
coffee, all right? While you're watching.
Okay, so
The bomb isn't the worst of it,
Widow
Blue.
main.
okay, so you said Widow main, but you don't say that you're gonna go on her. So no one can follow you.
Pharmacy,
that's the
right
first thing.
side.
So we talked about their team having problems like communicating and staging. Let's see what happens.
Wait, Blue, can we watch it all the way through? Don't say anything until you know it's over.
Okay.
Jumping on the widow. My widow. I have thermal ragi. Oh, you're bombing into the lake.
We're not gonna talk about that.
We're not gonna talk about a lot of things about this game.
Come here, Mercy.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't be here. What? 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 No!
Overwatch is coming. I think I like that you had the balls to do it, dude.
I was trying to go mono and it didn't work.
That was the most wasted ultimates I've ever seen. Like the only reason why we won that fight was like Tex like is good. That's like the reason why. Okay.
I'm dead.
I threw. I'm so sorry. I had to.
No, it's not.
Guys, I threw. My bad.
It's not even the throw, cause like we got it to 99. It's completely fine.
I was having fun.
I forced primal.
Can I just keep getting damage and get my ult back?
I'm sorry, Jason.
That makes up for the waste.
Okay. So let's see how we retake this and win the map.
Okay, I should have swapped off of Pharah here,
What the?
cause I don't like Pharah for Garden's retake. I think it's pretty difficult, especially like both Garden's retake and Lighthouse on Ilios. Like while Pharah is good for getting the point and maintaining it, I don't think it's good for retakes. So I probably should have swapped.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's still not a big enough mistake to like lose us the game here.
I got you, dude.
All right, I'm jumping on their Widwall. Boom.
Oh.
Wait, leap?
Jordan, what did we just talk about? You know, I prepped you before the scrim to like actually like think about your dives and shit.
Well, I was in the car on the way home from vacation, Gloob. I didn't check Discord until like 10 minutes before scrims.
Okay.
Don't do it!
Oh fuck. She had her ult.
she
had an ult, that's my
even
bad.
DMs it.
Oh my god.
My bad, I didn't even know. That's what your answer.
Winnable.
Winnable.
No,
Yes,
no.
it's definitely winnable.
Also, something I'm trying to work on with my support players is like sometimes like, well, two things. Like it mainly revolves around like healing, like only healing, if that makes sense. Like not focusing on like utility and damage enough. But another thing is like some of them they panic. So like say if we're up like 3 picks or something, right? And they see someone's gonna die and they're like, oh shit, I gotta ult to save them. And even though like if they don't ult, we'd probably lose that person, but still win the fight anyways. Like there, I think when we beat it, it was only to save like one person. Like the team didn't look like in that much danger, and you guys were like already down Winston, and I think another pick.
I
when we
mean, we
beat
kind
it.
of blew all our ults, so dude, I can see a Lucio. I can see a Lucio being like, oh shit, so much ult, I'm gonna ult too.
I want to join the ultimate party. Let me in.
Come in with bubble.
Yeah.
Rowena. No.
No.
Just reset. We're down 3.
That wall.
Hello,
Okay, so
Barbara,
it's only
come on,
33%, guys. What can go wrong here?
Oh, just you wait, my friend.
I have the bomb.
Z-bomb.
Okay. I go make space for the bomb to go boom.
Our comms are like pro level, dude. Wee wee.
Alright, ready?
Widow's on bridge.
Where? She's just on the far
Yeah,
bridge?
she's all the way in back bridge.
Alright, I'm gonna go jump on her. I'm on their Widlow.
I didn't notice Jason was with me, so I backed up.
We're down on right now. Careful.
You fucking say, okay, I'm jumping in, and then fucking.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Bye bye.
Monkey.
Yeah, I got low and I was like, okay, I gotta go
Just
back to
kidding,
the
Jason. Oh, Jason's at 3v1 right here. Okay, this is one fight. One fight right here.
Monkey.
Yo, huge bomb, huge bomb.
What?
Monkey's still low. Monkey's still one. He's dead. Okay, I had the power primal.
Wall on point. Oh shit. Mine's on point. Be careful.
Clearing mines with barrage. 'Cause why not?
She stole my health back.
Shit. Please.
Oh my lord, thank you.
Monkey slap, don't touch
Okay, the Mercy Valks, so the Widow doesn't die.
Widow.
Oh fuck. You guys are so low. Oh fucking me out of here.
Okay, so this is one, right?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
totally
it's one.
should be
One.
one.
See,
This is a win fight.
All right, go next.
It's Mercy Lucio.
I'm
It's
watching
literally
this and I
Mercy
don't
Lucio.
know how.
Lucio's up in the
Yeah,
air.
10 minutes left.
I think at one point
Ball
Barb had
one,
to
ball
res
one.
Rowena because she died to the
It's the
Winston,
Lucio going.
and then nobody had any
Monkey,
form
monkey,
of
monkey,
healing,
monkey,
so we got
monkey, monkey,
super
monkey,
low. We
monkey,
couldn't
monkey,
keep
monkey, monkey.
fighting on point.
Don't touch him, don't touch him, don't. Okay.
Back on the monkey, back on the monkey, back on the monkey. He's got primal. I got you
Right there.
covered, Barb.
I'm dead, I'm dead.
That's a feels bad, man.
No justice reign.
I was like
No.
60 HP there or something.
Oh, did we hear Miriam's keyboard get ready?
Well, no, that was my
I
chair.
threw,
See?
my bad.
Oh my
okay.
god, it's like a perfect
Yeah,
recreation.
We're like, how did we win?
Couldn't have sat in their
It's
spawn.
actually the same
I
thing.
should have.
Okay.
I was trying to run.
So you guys are gonna win night market, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
tried to body block
totally.
for you, and then did you not see I was? Wait, not see that you were there.
What am I playing for? This?
But
What am I doing here?
like what I find interesting is how like so at the like in between rounds and like at the end of the scrim we were like, holy shit, like this is like we were having so much fun, like not like clown fun, like intense fun, if that makes sense. And like, you know, a lot of scrims either feel like nowadays sometimes there's always that team that's like, you know, like 2.5 and they want to scrim like 3k teams and they don't tell you, and like we've had those experiences where you either roll a team or you get absolutely destroyed. But like it's funny because so the scrim to us felt really competitive, and Teacup Kitties, she was like, oh, like we haven't scrimmed in 3 weeks, so I might be a little rusty. But like during if I didn't come here afterwards, like because like you guys seemed like fairly on point, I guess we didn't notice like all these like I mean like there was times where like they over ulted. Yeah, but like we didn't guess that it was like this.
Yeah, it's okay though. The thing is, like, Jordan just hit Masters too, and like he left for vacation, and then like he comes back and like he's a trash now. Trash can Jordan.
Jordan
I
is
missed the whole
this
week.
Winston.
Hey, I played a
Yes.
game. I played a game of DPS this morning, and I won it on my main.
Oh,
I think I should replace Jason.
I think we should
Wait, what are the SR of your team members?
I'm 3.5.
I'm
Jason's-
2.5.
Okay, Tex is 2.5.
No, I'm not
But
2.5.
but
I'm
Tex-
3.1. Chill.
Yeah,
Tex
Tex.
is actually like better than there's a guy in our Discord
Mhm.
who's like another team, and he's like
Jug?
kind of master, like Jug, kind of master level. Like he's master with Farah,
Mm-hmm.
and like Tex is like trashing him, but Tex is like 2.8. So it scrims
Yo, I'm
Tex is, like,
3.1. Chill. Stop. I'm not
you
that
like you like.
Wait, you're 3.1 right now?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh wait,
Oh,
you
okay. See, what's the
3.1?
cloud
Okay.
bill is gone.
Dude, you should be like 3.3 or something. Oh, like almost master, dude. You're so good.
Oh.
Like your doofus is no nasty, dude. I don't know.
Nasty.
And then Miriam's what, 3.6?
I don't know.
Something like
Wait,
that.
so
yeah.
how many Masters players were in this scrim?
3.
Three?
3.
Gotcha.
3.
And your average is like what, 3.3?
No, it's like 3.2. Probably
3.2 to
3.1.
3.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barb is like 2.6, or Lucio, and like
And then Rowena is
Rowena's
2.7.
yeah.
No,
so-
Rowena's 3k right now.
Oh, she is?
Rowena's
Yeah,
3K?
she hit diamond. Yeah.
Oh.
But like, Barb is like, I don't know. She's a like such a like up and down player.
Her
Sometimes I
diva's
feel like
insane.
she could be like high diamond, and sometimes she's like, I don't know. She does stuff. I'm like, oh my god. dude.
Yo, my SR this season went from 2.4, 2.5 to 3.2 ish or 3.1. What? Who the
Yeah,
hell
I
was
went-
that? Hello?
Well, I went from
Hello?
3.1
Hello.
to 3.5.
Hello.
I don't know.
Oh,
Hello?
it's Snee.
Snee.
It's Snee. Hi, Snee.
Okay, so let's continue.
Okay, Snee.
Should we play?
So you guys gonna win this,
here?
right?
Yeah.
Still doing dive here.
So
Yeah.
Uh,
Actually,
so on this comp it's kind of weird because
up
like
to you guys.
from my experiences in like ranked and like prior to my team stuff, like I always found like Reaper and like close range heroes are fairly good on are fairly good on this map. But as we played in
Who
tournament
won again?
before like 222 lock was even an idea. So we ran into a lot of goats on this map. So or sorry, no, we didn't actually run into a lot of goats. We ran into a lot of counter goats on this map. So our go-to plan at first became like a double sniper, but then it turned into like dive, because we found that like a standard dive comp works like decently against the counter goats comp. But so we still don't really know what to do. But I like dive is a decent option.
Because they might run
So
around.
the pro meta here is probably the you know the comp we played on the first map, King's Row?
On the attacker defense.
Defense.
Yeah,
With
the
the Oxo Mara.
mhm.
This is probably what they're gonna play.
No, it's me with more.
So maybe that doesn't answer your question, but that's what they play.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
running
Okay, well,
Luffy, but they're running
don't
dive.
look at this one. Don't look at this first dive. Don't.
Let's see the. So you guys gonna set up and then call the target and dive? Is that what?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we called the Dova target. Wasn't
It,
the
it
right
wasn't
one?
the right
We'll see.
target. It wasn't the right target.
Okay, so here actually Jason is a big brain, so he's actually like positioning well. You can see here. No.
No.
that's true.
I know. I understand.
Is everybody
You see him
Flank
back
into the right. Yeah.
flanking right now. So let's see the dive coming.
ready? 3, 2, 1, jumping on
I think
you.
here we were trying to play slow because we saw that you had a Moira and we're like, okay, we're not gonna be able to get on that.
So like, Jason is like at the right place at the right time. Let's see what happens. But he actually like did the big brain thing to do here.
Genji point.
Just play in their tanks.
Just play here. Bring
Oh,
it
Genji
down.
again. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Genji. Oh.
And then Jason dies because you guys backed off. Oh no.
More like
Slow.
we were getting shredded by Devo
Oh,
Winston
they have no mega,
jumping
they have-
into their tanks.
No mega. Monkey. Oh, I'm dead.
Because you guys aren't playing as Zen here, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you have Moira Lucio? Yeah.
Okay. Do you want Ana back?
Alright, let me out of here.
Yeah, if we're gonna play Genji, we need Nana.
Yeah, we need to jump to Zen or something.
Okay. I was just jumping into them.
I tried to
Jumping
keep you-
into them.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
Monkey business.
I mean, it was pretty okay. I think that dive wasn't that bad. I've seen worse dive, dude.
I'm just gonna do some poke damage right now.
Divas.
Also, like
I'm
during that
jumping on
dive, like
Lucio.
the Winston didn't have, well, at least like from what we've just watched, like I don't think the our back line was properly like scouted. It was kind of like jump at them, but like it was like jump at the team. You know what I mean? As like one entity rather than like jump on like this specific place or this specific target. And like I feel like it's gonna be pretty tough for you guys, like, because we have the Discord advantage, and I think it's gonna be pretty hard for you guys to win unless you can like deal with that.
So, Snee wanted us to record this, but I'm not recording. You want to record,
Me?
Jordan?
What? Record what?
What we're doing right now?
We're like so far into the
Yeah, I
VOD
know.
review.
Yeah. Maybe we actually.
I've
says
been
the-
recording.
Oh my God! This guy's a bugger.
My man's ready.
Okay, nice. Yes, we've been recording. Yes, we.
Wait, you're recording without my consent?
Yo,
Recording.
whoa.
What is this? Hold on.
Sending
Hang
it
on.
to the FBI right now.
Wait up. You're gonna just file it.
Wait, let me make sure I've been recording. Hold on. Oh yeah, I have.
Oh yeah.
An hour and 13 minutes.
Nice, Sue. Okay. So.
Oh, Lucio low. Get him. Alright, both their supports are dead. Get on point.
Genji's one
Yo,
behind.
why is there monkey? There's monkey. and-
Oh, this was it. This is when
Oh,
we
yeah, yeah, yeah.
had Dove in the back.
I remember our main tank player was like, wait a
Genji,
second,
Genji,
we
Genji,
lost?
Genji
And
won.
we're like, yes, we did.
Monkey slapped. You're welcome.
Winston.
They were already going.
Coming back, we're coming back.
Okay, you guys are doing a good job staggering here.
Alright, I'm gonna go
I
up
mean,
here.
staggering
Mary, if you
there.
wanna come with me?
And I'll just wait.
So we had a feeling that, or at least I had a feeling that you'd be here because this is where our main tank likes to play. And I think we force you out of this. I think
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You like 3
Oh my
people jump
God,
on me.
they take like position and shit for going in. Oh. Big
We
one.
can only get Nano.
I'm 69%.
They're doing what the video says.
Oh, they're on me. I'm dropping down.
See you with the bubble.
Jump on Genji. Okay. Jump on their supports. They're by themselves.
Okay, here it's slow. I followed you here on the supports, Jordan, but
I'm trying to help you.
it's
with their
I think it happened.
supports.
Wait, hold on. Pause.
Okay, we forced out primal.
What?
It happened, I think, on Gibraltar as well, where you jumped their Zen that was in forklift. I think, and then you primal to try to kill him because he was pretty low.
Oh
It's just,
yeah.
it's hard to follow when you primal the dive target because you're booping
Oh,
them
because
away.
I'm booping them away. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't really follow you with those.
Mm-hmm.
Either
Okay.
that or like when you're doing that, like you did it on the Zen later on in the scrim, but like right there when you're like jump their supports, perfect. I'm going on the supports, but let me know which one you're going on.
Or
So I can help you.
Oh no! I couldn't get out fast.
That's it feels bad.
I got shredded. I think it was
Yeah.
like 300 HP.
You even had
Discord is OP.
you even have jump here to save yourself.
Oh, yeah, they did beat. They
That
did beat.
just feels bad.
Genji's low. Genji's really low.
The other thing that really sucked is we never nano bladed.
Yeah, we used Nano and Diva twice.
They have
Yeah.
no beat, so
You are right.
we could fight this.
So it's really there's no point playing Genji, especially into a 2-off support comp if we're not gonna nano blade, because otherwise I'm just a bot. I'm not doing anything.
I'm back. Oh shit.
Nah,
Get
So
out
I
of
should have
supports.
switched off of this to probably Doom or something much earlier.
And you should play Doom. You're so
Yeah.
good at Doom.
Just don't. Yeah, don't back out.
When we die, you should play Doom. You're like Doom killing percentage is like 1,000.
Actually, yeah.
Because
Follow,
the
follow
hero's
the menu.
stupid.
I don't know if that statistic exists, but
Are we calling Tracer?
I don't know if we can do it till 99, but go one by one. Please. Jason's gonna cry. You don't go one by
Oh
one.
wait, I don't think I can reach it in time. Goodbye.
It's okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
Benji definitely has blade. I've been waiting for it.
Okay.
When we're stalling for time, yeah, do it one by one.
okay. So you said Genji has blade. Where's the alt economy?
F trans.
Let's jump on Genji. He's by himself.
Oh, they have trans. Ooh.
When, I'm not there. I'm not there.
Oh, okay. Oh, he bladed.
Dude.
Okay, Jordan. Like. You know when I say to you that you need to listen to your teammates.
Huh?
That's a prime example of this.
What? He said he had blade, so
Yeah.
I said jump on him and kill him, so he
Yeah.
can't blade.
And then you jump on him, and then he plays, and then you're like, wait, he has blade?
Oh, I said wait, he has blade.
No, you're like, oh, he's blading? Wait, what?
Yeah, no, because I didn't expect him to, because he was getting killed.
Genji's dead, and then they're.
Well, I think like in general, like not just Genji, but like something I try to tell my people is that like they get a little like hungry sometimes. Like this is usually Widowmaker's the best example, where people see Widowmaker and they're like, if like you're playing Winston, you're like, oh, I can take on Widowmaker because like, I'm a dive tank and it's Widowmaker. But then she just grapples away, and now you're like in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think something like at least I know my team struggles with a lot is where we have to recognize like a basic recognizing of like who to dive is like, okay, like Zen doesn't have abilities to like get him out, but like I don't know, like Orisa has like a lot of survivability. That's like the basic understanding we have, but something we need to do more is recognizing like situational opportunities where it's like a Widow, the difference between like Widow with grapple and like Widow without grapple, and like in that situation it's like Genji with dash and without dash. Like if you hard commit on the Genji with dash, it's gonna be tough.
You know when we talked about sustainable and unsustainable cooldowns? Like, you need to like jump on them if they don't have their unsustainable, like not sustainable, but like the cooldowns that take times. The jump or like Genji had his cooldowns here, so like going for him is like okay.
They used all their ult.
You can jump out.
All they're gonna have is probably trends.
Did they?
Yes.
Yeah,
Then we're gonna have it again soon. Yeah, they'll probably have it soon. But they have no other ults except for support ults.
Yeah, I should have. Okay, so
Well,
after Rowena used Nano on the Diva, I should have just swapped, even though I have Blade. It's not gonna do anything. Just waiting around for her to build another Nano. Should have swapped it right away.
Or you should just like use it and like get the Zen like trans out as fast as possible.
I think I do Naked Blade here, but and I get the Tracer with these the Zentrance, but I was like right at the end of the entire round, so we couldn't really capitalize off of that.
Okay.
I don't have
Miriam, are you with me?
supports, yeah. Where are they?
They're on point, so we're gonna have to jump into point. Ready? Three, two,
Half.
into point.
You know, like the like dive your like backline there, and then you still decide to go to point.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. Just yeah.
Oh, can I make a quick comment?
Zen.
Yeah.
So, another thing I'm trying to do with my team, is like when you do countdowns for dives, it's especially like important when you have like a Hammond or something. So right now the way we're doing it and the way we've done it in the past is like 3, 2, 1, and then everyone like clicks their buttons. But like people have to be in certain places. Like the diva should be behind the Winston, or if you have Hammond, he takes longer to set up. So like we're trying to get it to a point where like 3, 2, 1, and then like at the end of the countdown is when people are actually like there, not when they start pressing their buttons. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good idea. I don't know if like right now we're like having trouble even like doing the 3, 2, 1. So, but yeah, it's a good thing. I think here like you wanted to dive here, but like their Winston like solo dived your backline. He was kind of alone there, so you could have like wrecked him. But I mean, our DPS pops off and we win.
Zen.
Maybe.
Zen's outside of point. Zen's outside of point.
I'm dead. Oh shit, I can't. Monkey low on point. Monkey low on point.
Fuck! I thought I was gonna be able to keep him in the air.
Trying to heal what I can.
What?
Shit, monkey's one.
Genji.
Let's try calling targets. There's no target calling right now, so.
Genji. Yeah, Lucio, we gotta kill their supports, guys. Lucio low, Lucio low.
I'm dead.
You guys here like didn't have enough target calling, and like you got
I'll
it
come
an
back as well.
advantage, but wasn't able to like use it.
Unlucky.
Oh no.
Coming back soon. No.
Okay.
So sad.
That was I mean, so much like mistakes that are like really easy to like not do, just like by playing more and like just getting used to shit.
Well, I think we were definitely really rusty. At least I was, because I hadn't played more than like an hour of Overwatch before this in over a week.
Yeah, I really feel like you guys could have played better. That's okay.
And we hadn't scrimmed. We hadn't scrimmed in like 3 weeks.
Ball.
Full hook slow, because of that first choke point. You don't have to worry about the shield being there.
So yeah, both teams here on Anubis have like not the best attacks.
You want to start
Yeah,
with-
let's
oh,
see.
that's true.
I mean, here the comp is like the
Yeah, I could contest.
like
Wait.
classic Houston Outlaw comp with Linkster and Jake.
Shot it.
That.
Whoops.
Jason, I can't see you from where you're standing. So
I'm
You
gonna
can
heals
go
just
further down there.
What damage did you do?
There's another spot.
Yeah,
down
get
there.
over here, buddy. Oh.
Oh, what up?
I will contest her if she comes out.
No. Ball. Ball low, anti and low. I got booped off.
So I think Anubis attack is
Where's Widow?
like something we struggle to do a lot, mainly because like
Oh, I tried to kill
first point mainly because it's just like we always feel like we lose to like a spammy comp, like just like high damage spam, and then when we play high damage spam, like just hard to gauge the high ground and we always lose. So I guess we're trying to do what we usually lose against, which is like this kind of like all in the high ground and try to take that position.
Yeah, but like here you're like really in a good position, so I don't know why like you didn't win this one. Let's see it. But honestly here, you just need to like get back to the neutral ground, spread out, and then like take position on the map and then dive them again on the point. They're like all on point. Like They're like close together, all on point. They're like have really bad like positioning. You guys boop them off their positioning that they wanted. So if you guys don't get picked for no reason, like you should be able to win this easily because you're like you guys have like the good position and the team doesn't.
I think the mistake we make here is that
Yeah, the ball runs on the point right now.
yeah, we try to engage, like we don't reset like our cooldowns. We just like I think we do recognize that we have the advantage, but we don't exploit it in the right way.
Yeah, the advantage. Yeah, the advantage here is not like a one-man advantage where the like time is gonna like alleviate the advantage. Here the advantage is like we have high ground and we have anything just to like get our cooldowns. Like maybe like the widow is somewhere. Maybe like push the widow out or something, and then just go in with that because.
Yeah.
But like if you go in to their tanks right now, like this is not using your advantage.
Kill.
Yeah, exactly.
Ball.
This is like
Ball. One ball.
not good for your tank from your tank.
Yeah.
One ball.
Everyone's critical. I'm dead.
Mercy. One. Winston.
Like
Low.
if he wants to jump in the team, he should be like as a ball. We talked about it a lot since we like were mainly ball comp team. Like with ball, you need to like play. You're not a Winston. You need to play like a tracer. You need to like just like run into them and then like go away and then run into them and then once you want to engage, you want to go in. But here he like hard engages like he was a Winston. Like with ball, you want to push people out, move them, and when you want to engage, you want to go in. But like here, he like hard engage at the first thing. Like Jordan did that a lot at first. It was just like always committing at the first time, like at the earliest time he could, he was committing. But like here, your ball needs to like soft commit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's just like balling, like doing
hit them with the
bowling
fireball.
ball mode. Yeah, doing bowling ball mode, but like not doing like the ball driver.
Like I think we play ball a lot better when we do the, like we call it the Chengdu Hunters thing that they used to do. They don't do it much anymore, but like where they'd go for the ball, Winston, pharmacy, hit scan. Like when we do that, we play ball a lot better, mainly because like I think that comp is better oriented to like only poke. Like your DPS can just shoot from afar, but like I think here we're a little thrown off because it's like we're running the Genji, who like is obviously like doesn't have as much like poke as say like Afara.
The Genji's really good at 1v1. You should contest the Widow right now, not being on point.
Still low as a low.
I think actually I did dive the Widow up high and then she dropped down and I tried to chase.
I mean, I just saw that, but like you missed your dive. That's what happened. It's okay though, but that's what happened. But we lose this. So. I mean, even with that, you guys win because you guys have like you guys won the first kind of pokish.
Yeah.
The first fight was like the biggest fight. If you guys like go to the point, your like chance of winning are like lowered by a lot. Because the Widow like is easily diveable, and then these guys like didn't dive the Widow, but like still there was a Widow 1v1 and then it was pretty close.
I go back.
You could have made it easier for you guys, but like you still won.
The emote was
They have a game.
Seems to be like the general theme in like this scrim. It's like the team who wins, it's like they almost like don't deserve to like win because like the other team's making mistakes.
I mean, it's like this is the level.
That's true.
It's like this is like everyone's. That's what
I'm
everyone
pulling
does
main.
here.
I pulled Mercy.
Is that when
Mercy,
you killed me
Mercy,
mid-blade? I
Mercy,
think so.
resing.
Yeah, that was a blade shot.
Oh no, that's the first one where I dive high ground. The next one is the blade shot.
He low. Oh,
I
crap.
think.
I'm backing up. Oh, he blew up all my shield.
I can't see you.
Yeah, my man was on fire on Hanzo.
Oh my god, the comms are like oof right now. Just like let's re-listen to the comms. They're like oof.
I'm telling you.
So
comms
no one
last
talked
night
about
were,
ultimates.
oof, let's not even go there.
So no one told about ultimates, so no ultimate scalding, and then let's see what happens.
Oh, you got back.
Genji and Ball are right side.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
is
you're
it.
good. They're not pushing.
They have a widow.
Oh my god, maybe yeah.
I'm pulling main. I pulled Mercy.
Nice shot,
Nice shot.
Mercy, 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 resing, resings. Oh.
They rested Genji. Yo, I'm so confused
Oh,
right now.
I'm so confused. Someone
I'm
help.
so confused right now.
He low, he low, low, low. Oh crap, I'm backing up, I'm backing up. Oh, he blew up all my
I
shield.
can't see you. Oh, I can. Oh shit.
I can't see you. We don't know who she's targeting to.
Where's his bot? I'm gonna kill Lucio, Lucio, Lucio on point, Lucio on point, half. Oh, he beat!
Did he just beat?
He beat!
Yeah.
We're bog. Ready?
It was a clown fiesta kind of a fight.
Wait, who wants heals? 1 sec. Oh wait. Oh, okay.
Don't do the thing again.
I could just quick question. So you said you guys are rusty because you haven't scrimmed in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So, like my team started as like a group of friends. So naturally, like when you look at comms, I think it's like either you have like a I don't know, like a friend style of comms, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Where like people are like, there's like more like unnecessary information, and then there's like those like super serious comms where like
we're definitely friends, kind of.
yeah, no,
kind
but
of.
us too. So like
What do you mean, kind of?
No, we're definitely friends, kind.
Gloop, oh my god, I bought you a Christmas present. I bought
No,
you
no, no.
socks.
No, not friends, but like the comms. He's asking if the friends are the friends kind. Of
friends
comms.
kind of comms, yeah. But
Yeah, the friend, like
Okay.
you
Alright.
like
I was about to get
Comms
super
are like-
offended.
the friend kind. Like if you want white chocolate or black chocolate, this is white
You
chocolate.
mean
you
dark
know?
chocolate.
Exactly. Exactly.
no, but like, and then there's like the super serious comms where like no one cracks a single joke the whole time. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But so like one of our problems with comms is like sometimes like people just go on like tangents, like people will be like,
Never seen
oh like I'm like, listen. So I've just started this thing where like if someone starts like saying like random shit, I'm like, you know, shut up in the moment.
Our team is like we don't we're like kind of a friends team. So the idea is that like even if there's like random shit that's happening, we still let it happen. But I don't. That's not a good example, you know.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try to like just like for the funsies, go out with a clip. Do you remember when like Steph was like
Baby
she,
shark.
like, what? Yeah. She was like singing Baby Shark for the entire match.
Oh yeah.
Yo, we destroyed that.
We destroyed that game though. But it was,
Is this during scrim?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was
dear.
like singing Baby Shark for the entire map. It was Baby Shark. Do. and then she was Mercy, but she was like valking and then just like pulling her pistol and like going Baby Shark. Do. And she was like swearing and shit. I'm gonna try to pull it up. Wait, where is it? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it is, but like, yeah, essentially, we're like big con fiesta kind of comps, but we could
Yeah.
we could have better comps either way.
Well, wait,
Yeah.
we're all up here.
That was.
Don't.
I wanna go up there. I wanna go.
Because like a mistake we used to make was like we'd assume that like in between fights we can just like mess around, and then we're like, oh yeah, ultimate tracking, you know, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Essentially, you want to when the fight stops, you want the alt track.
Yeah.
Someone behind that thing.
Oh yeah, the Batiste was standing still
Oh, huge!
on the high ground.
No reason.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Get over here, Mercy, you dumb
Oh, I can't see you.
bungo!
Bungo.
Get over here,
like,
ball.
the comps are like so funny.
Mercy, trying to get out.
Fucking Lucio.
Pulling main.
Bang.
Oh, I didn't get anything. I'm bad.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Jason, you're nasty. I don't know what you did, but you're nasty.
Yeah, you're
Think the
nasty.
ulting Genji.
Yeah, and I fucking ulted for
Oh yeah, that's where you
Mariam,
shot.
Mariam.
I got shot in the head.
I'm gonna pull this ball right here. Oh, he rolled away.
Very nice.
Oh, I probably shouldn't have shot him first.
Genji right
Alright.
here if you want to pull him.
Pulling. Oh.
Go, ball behind, ball
So we didn't talk about alt economy here.
on me.
pulling main. I pulled Lucio up in the air.
Hanzo.
Lucio is low and trying to get away, and Ball is as well, but Ball's not low. He's just trying to
Oh
get away.
my god, you guys are like going full crazy right now.
Alright, I'm gonna go. Can I get up on the high ground now?
Look, Jason's
Oh
typing.
Jesus!
Kinda bopping.
Here comes the tutorial.
Oh dear.
Nah, just wait.
He's kind of bopping. Yeah, he's just bopping.
Guys.
Kid's bopping.
What? I was trying to get on high ground.
Wait, is this the? I know the fight that you actually get on high ground. We're trying to bait out the meteor strike. Like, okay, because so the way we thought was what was gonna happen was, or what we were hoping for. So we go to the right side into like cavern or whatever you want to call it. So we hoped that the Doomfist would hard commit his 3 cooldowns and that we could save both bubbles so that when he meteor strikes we could live. But that never happened. So
Yeah. Okay. So over here, I think when you guys push on the right, Miriam walks up. Tries
is that the
to-
Roadhog?
Yeah.
Okay.
She walks up, tries to hook, and
Mhm.
I'm flanking in the back, and I punch the Ryan into Cubby,
Mhm.
where we should have gotten an easy kill because he was, I think, like 100 HP or something.
Mm-hmm.
We never pushed up, then you guys beat it and bubbled. But then I think we won the fight right after. But
Alright.
regardless, I should have been more I should have been more vocal about my plan there. Miriam did see me, so I thought she was in on it. But yeah, that was my bad. Like I wanted to go make a play and do something with the flank, but it didn't really pan out properly. I should have been more vocal about it.
Our comms right now are like full baby shark mode. Like,
Yeah.
like they were
I
like
like that
bad
as a,
first- the first map they were like bad, but like now they're like baby shark mode. Like it's like
It was after Lee Jiang second point. That's when everything just went downhill, honestly.
yeah.
My life with that.
They have Brian.
Oh, I'm pulling that door. Oh, you should have told me you were gonna drag in. I would have done the. Oh wait,
Wow.
it's Jason.
Mine's incoming. Mine.
Ball's underneath.
I think
Oh,
here's
this
what
fight
we're trying to bait. Oh no, that's the fight
dang, I
after.
pulled them all.
Yeah, it's the next one.
Oh!
It's the next one.
Oh, I'm getting booped
Oh
around.
my god, you guys are all doing that. Okay, yeah.
We stuck Hammond for his ultimate because everyone else was at like under 40 or something, except for him.
I mean, your aim is kind of nasty right now, Jordan.
Oh no! Stop dodging my bullets.
The call out.
Alright, I'm going for the high ground again.
The enemy team.
I heard him swinging. I don't know where he is, but I heard him.
Oh.
He's here.
Guys, I did it! Guys, I did it!
No, I was so confused. I was like, because I didn't know you could get up there. I guess I don't know. I've never seen this before. Like, I was like, hold on, how is he up there? I was like, they don't have a Mei, they don't have a Sim. I was so confused. But I was like, and then my teammates were like, yeah, you can just jump up there. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, hey. Dude, why are you up there?
Why not?
We're playing high ground, boys.
I mean, not wrong.
Like, we should have been way more aggressive. Like, if you're just sitting up here, we could have just like rushed onto point, and then you'd have to drop down onto us.
For sure.
But like, we
But
just
like jumping
sat.
down
New
onto
strat,
something is
holy
like
shit.
kind of okay though.
It's fine.
Yeah, but I feel like what we could do with the point, it might like stuff the Orisa into an uncomfortable
Jason
position.
can't get up to his spot
Yeah,
anymore.
for sure.
Right side, right side.
Done.
Pulling.
I also forgot to turn off skins, but
Yo, they're gonna
you
grab
know,
us up here.
minor
You're kinda
details.
screwed.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop down.
Oh yeah, so I
They're
think-
gonna grab us.
They didn't,
Yeah,
they
see,
didn't know
I'm
what to do, just
flanking
like,
and I'm trying to make a play.
Oh, I see you. Yeah,
pulling.
yeah.
There you go.
we almost
Oh.
did it.
He's in there. He's super low. We could have easily killed him there.
Bro,
I mean, they could have ult him too.
I'm
That's
not
okay.
gonna walk across that whole team.
Oh, where is it? I don't know.
Oh, it went
It
off.
worked out bad.
Ah, help me!
I'm healing you, but you're purple.
Lucio, one.
Wow, you guys are stamped.
Alright, Miriam, let me give you a tutorial on how to get to high ground.
Oh Jesus.
Tutorial. No, not yet, not yet. There's still someone here.
No. See, look. So basically,
We're
what
doing a tutorial.
ready? Watch. Look, you see me? You see me? Miriam, and then you go. Wee.
Wait, I wanna
Oh.
know.
Tutorial,
I wanna know too.
Alright,
Who
alright,
else is here?
alright. We'll
I
do
feel
a
like Link is
tutorial.
like, he's like super focused,
Wait,
and he's
I
like,
think they're pushing
what are
a
these
little
guys
bit.
doing?
It's fine.
Who are you?
No.
And then you go like this.
Not really.
Link
No.
is definitely worse than us.
Okay.
But it works.
No, because like this whole time, I feel like he's been like when someone makes a mistake, he's like, come on, like what happened? You know?
Yeah, but like he kind of does it jokingly too.
No,
Okay,
tutorial
okay.
OW.
Tutorial OW.
Got you, man.
Okay, well,
You'll... Even when I hook them,
alright, while they
Oh,
stall, okay. So what you gotta do is you gotta come over here, then you go up on here, and then
Okay.
and then
Okay.
I got
then
you.
Yeah,
you go
yeah, I
here.
think I understand. I think I understand.
Okay.
It would be hard to do.
So I think for our first push on point B, we do that.
We wasted so much time on this attack, honestly.
With the speed
I
boost.
think we spent a good
Okay,
40
Lucio, we're gonna
seconds
mess
trying to
up.
set up
No,
the
because if you
nade.
do it with the speed boost, then we all make it apart.
Here?
40 seconds?
That little
Yeah.
Wait, what are we playing?
Okay, let's see it.
Okay.
It was really bad.
Which tank will have the least deaths? So I think you got that one right too, because we picked the same person.
Oh, is he looking at the Overwatch League right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
Oh, on the other.
Yeah, we're full baby shark mode right now. Sometimes this happens.
I like that as a qualifier for what we're doing, baby shark
Baby
mode.
shark mode.
Thank you. Oh my god, thank you. Yeah,
Welcome.
Yeah, when it's like that, like there's no coaching anymore. It's like
You ready?
more entertaining than coaching.
Oh, on the statue.
All right. I'm curious to see what happens on this nade.
Yeah, me too. Let's see.
Say it like you a little bit.
How did she say?
Alright, okay, they have Orisa Hog, and I'm scared.
Okay. Oh, no.
Nice bubble.
Alright, we're gonna go this way, small room.
Okay.
I got the rest.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh.
The Mercy.
Oh, I didn't jump the right way. And then
Yeah, we definitely needed an escort the DM for that.
Oh, yeah, the Genji was
I
in
couldn't
deep
back
flank.
up, I was
Yeah.
gonna get killed.
Widow's dead.
Yeah, I was stuck there.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do. Yo, I hate the
Should I
fact that
go
when Mercy reses, your arm goes up. Oh my god, I hate it so much.
Wrecking
Arm
ball?
going up when she's resing.
I could have killed her before she resed.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm still in here.
I can't, he says.
He knows.
Should I go wrecking ball and just hit them off?
Right now.
Let's see.
Do you know how to do the nade on this?
Oh,
Yeah.
my
Oh, here.
God.
All right, here comes the
Here
other
it
guy.
comes. Here it comes.
Here, in the corner. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, is
Put your
are,
alt chart
are you teaching the Ana how to do it?
elbow in the corner.
yeah, she's teaching the Ana how to do it right now.
Dun,
Oh.
dun, dun, like
Because
that.
this is our other Ana, the person that used to play Ana for. Like now she's playing
Like-
Diva.
Miriam right now. Miriam is like a min masters level support, but she's playing tank right now
Gotcha.
because she wants to play tank. So that's what's happening. She's trying to teach the person how to do it.
Okay.
Alright, ready guys? Ready?
No, not yet. Wait. We're gonna do the nade.
In there.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, you were on top.
you don't have to crouch. By the way. Look
Okay.
up. Line up your alt charge thingy on the edge.
We
of
probably
the-
should have realized like something was up. We had like,
Okay.
I guess we didn't realize that like
I'm gonna throw it.
something was being
right
planned.
now.
Five.
I don't remember what we were thinking here.
3, 2,
Yo, it didn't work.
1.
Oh. It didn't work. It dies.
Alright, we wasted a lot
Yeah,
of time
that
doing
was
so let's
35 seconds that we wasted there.
Pretty much.
let's
But also, you know that like
What
place
should we play?
where I don't know what you call it actually.
Sorry.
It's like
What should we play?
it's a little like high ground like ledge. It's on the right
the
side.
right side?
Yeah, from the
But-
attacker's point of view.
Mhm.
So
But isn't?
yeah, sorry, no, you go first.
No, go.
Okay, so I thought that you guys were gonna hard commit on the high ground, so I was standing there as Hanzo with my dragons, and I went for a flank. But like,
I mean, the Onslaught was really good.
Yeah, you had
But-
good defensive dragons for sure.
but
I
like,
think-
On two of
yeah.
our pushes.
I don't know if you guys do it a lot, but essentially here, the nade that they're trying to teach, if you like actually know it before the scrim and like not full baby shark here, maybe maybe like it's like a really good way to like get an withstand. If like they take that high ground, like that nade is like super good. Like you get everyone, and then if you have a good dive here, like it's like insta win the fight.
Yeah, so we
The
did that
only-
on Hanamura and Paris mainly.
You can do it here too if you want. Like it's a really easy nade if you know it, and like
Okay.
you should like just like you guys told me that like we have a hard time doing it here.
Mhm.
So if you have a hard time doing it here, just try this strat is like really good on there.
Okay.
You kind of like did the same thing the same thing with your attack, but you didn't use the nade and like you
Mhm.
didn't kill anyone because of it. But with
Yeah.
the nade, you might have killed one or two, and then you could have like pushed us really hard and won the fight like super fast instead of like winning the fight 2 minutes later.
We just
Should I go Lucio?
play what we're supposed to be playing
Okay,
and
okay.
actually play the game.
Alright,
I'm
ready?
for Lucio.
I'm gonna go right side right now.
Oh, we almost have.
But like, oh, what I was saying about the dragons is like,
I almost
after the dragons
Okay,
happened, like
I'm
I
behind.
don't think. I mean, I wasn't like I don't know for sure. Like I don't know what you guys were thinking, but I tried that again like the second time, like when you guys were about to run out of time, and it was like there was an Ana and a Genji. Do you remember this? Right? Aren't you playing Genji?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, like there was one point where I was at like I was like killable, and then like I think you went to like go engage on the point or something, and then Ana was there alone.
Yeah, and then I think I got nano at that point. Turned around, eventually killed you. Then I died to your widow, and then you got rezzed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, uh, I think like you guys, because like I don't think like in the grand scope of things, like I don't think I should have done that the second time, because like you know like if you're gonna do a trick, you know usually it's
Yeah,
not gonna work for twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean,
No.
the idea is really good.
Should I jump the?
Like using dragon defensively is really good. It's just like Diva Bomb or like Mayalt. Like
Yeah.
using dragon defensively is really good too.
What
Especially in this
or
map.
should I go for the?
Nano played next. Okay, they have walls.
Not gonna hug as well.
Oh boy,
The
dude.
Zen's on top
It's been
line.
3 weeks, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just about 3 weeks. 19 days, I think.
Ready?
We can see it right now. Did you see
Just
that?
me, just me.
Oh fuck no! I got trapped.
Jordan.
All right. Should we?
I was actually really
should I
confused
make
because I saw you like
a-
swing back and forth, and I was like,
Sure.
Yeah, no, I got
What's
stuck,
going on?
and then I was trying to gain more momentum, and it didn't
yeah,
work.
yeah.
I wanted to go for Widow, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
We need to force out trans. We need to all dive the Zen. He's right up here. Everybody dive the Zen and focus him down.
Okay.
Once Yusuf comes back. Don't peek, don't peek.
I'm behind them right now. They don't know it.
Ready?
Probably should have
Okay,
scouted that out.
everybody
I think
Okay,
I
where's
resist
the
used it.
Sami?
Yeah.
Where's the Sami? I pulled their focus.
We need to go. We need to go.
Okay, never mind.
I pushed.
I can't.
No, no, no. We were down. We should have waited. We still have time.
I thought Tracer was respawned when you
Hunt's up
engaged.
here.
Weren't you 6?
Yeah.
I think
No,
like
or mine-
as you were engaging, Tracer got shot in the head.
He's
Yep.
gated. Okay.
I don't know if the ball's working.
How the fuck are you guys gonna win this?
I don't know what else to play. The Winston wasn't working either. I was just kidding.
I feel like Winston's probably better, but we can try.
I'm just waiting around.
It's because we keep getting staggered.
I think what happened
Yeah.
like here on your attack is you guys started to rush point. Like some of you went to the high ground, some of you went to point, and then like we got like super distracted, and like half the team went like to one side and half the team went to the other.
Okay.
I'm gonna nanotext if he's low. Actually. Oh,
Yeah, like we get super scattered, then we double support ultimate.
I'm trying to.
Trying to get back.
Mercy's resing Hanzo in the back.
Oh, I died. Winnable. This is really winnable.
Yo, Hanzo in the back.
Okay, yeah. Hunter back.
Yeah.
You guys win this?
Oh my god.
Oh, my way back.
This is
Yeah, Jordan kills the
Huh?
Mercy, and then we
Mercy.
get the respawns there in time.
more there. Maybe winnable.
Mercy won.
Very
Life
clutch.
Level
Remember
won.
our Mercy was screaming like, "Help your Mercy!" and I was like, "I don't know what you want me to do."
Winnable. Nice. Huge. Huge, Jordan.
Nice.
Yeah, there's really not much.
No.
Oh!
Look at that, that swerve.
Oh, tiny.
And
Yeah,
Lucio came and
Hanzo's
killed me.
won.
I got him. Oh,
He's
shit.
purple, he's purple, he's purple.
Ball's low.
Winnable.
Winston.
We don't main.
What do you guys think about the?
Yeah, we honestly should have completely lost that
The
push.
ball.
Nice.
But the fact that we got the healer
That was
picks.
so Monka W. Holy shit.
Dude, you guys are crazy.
So clutch.
I have really
What do you guys think of the Hammond Mines change?
Oh, wait,
Because
wait.
like in the notes it said it was meant to be a buff, but then some people think it's a nerf.
What is
Um,
the change?
There's
They
they're
spread out
faster.
more. I don't like it. Because when they were more condensed, it was easier to slam, and then, like, say you're slamming on supports, it's more mines are more likely to hit them. But if they're scattered, they could stand still, and the mines won't hit them as easily. Like I used to be able, like, if I would slam on a Zen, it would
Mhm.
they would hit 3 or 4 mines, and now they only hit 1 or 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Maybe the thing is you can like with this now you can maybe like use it to like actually cover the whole point.
Yeah,
And like
I think that's what it was for.
make it unstainable. But like nowadays, no one does it. Usually you do it by like trapping people in and then killing them. So it's like
Yeah.
a combo to kill them. But now you can maybe make it like more zone pressure instead of like actual kill things.
Well, another thing is when you know how it comes out of the top of the mech.
Mhm.
It's if you're in the air, it goes up two now, so it'll hit like roofs and stuff. If you're on like a
Oh,
like
that's
like elephant point on
Yeah,
Nepal.
Nepal.
It
That's
hits
a
the roof on that one, so it's a huge nerf because you
Yeah.
usually use it to scatter on the entrance, and then you slam down.
yeah. Okay, big nerf then.
Insane clutch. Do you want to go
There's a Hanzo.
Okay, let's see
Should I
what
go
happens
Winston
here.
Or should I just?
after this swap after this push? Let's go Ursa Hog maybe.
Okay. Alright, ready? We go now. I'm gonna go left side, and I'm gonna go up you up.
You guys don't have a plan.
Oh, we're down one.
Yep. I'm 1,000 HP right now, so.
I'm nano.
Yep. Oh no! No. Oh, this is bad.
Oh no.
All right, we make swaps. Make swaps.
I beat.
That's a
I
bit
almost
feels
switched
bad.
to Ursa. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Wait, with this comp, do you want to do Ryan Zarya? What comp are you do?
If you want. Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Just like take an hour to like decide
Just
comps. Did Jason call Did Jason call the comps here?
No.
No.
Why didn't you do it?
Oh, be careful. Wait. Oh my god.
I'm honestly just gonna chalk it up to us being very out of practice playing together. That
Usually
we're
our
missing
like,
a lot of whatchamacallits.
usually our caller that like calls the
By the way?
the composition is Jason. Jason usually calls the composition.
Jason is Link, right?
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
a Hondo to the top.
Oh, Hanzo's.
On the top right.
Oh wait, quick question for you guys.
I
So-
got hold.
If you're playing Ryan Zarya into Ryan Zarya,
Mhm.
and so if you're the Zarya player, or like maybe not the Zarya player, just in general. So, so say you know the enemy Ryan has shatter, and you know he's gonna shatter. So, and if you're playing Zarya and you have your projected bubble, and you're playing I don't know Zenya and your trance, like something that we've like made mistakes with in the past. So we have like a really good one of our support players is really good. So like she can react to like shatters and EMPs, but then sometimes like she reacts to the shatter and then Ryan blocks the shatter. You know what I mean? Like, how would you guys like approach?
I mean, it depends on how much you trust your Ryan to block it or not.
Yeah.
It's just comes with
That's-
how often you play or how just the more you play with your Ryan, if you're confident in his abilities or not.
Okay.
It's always I think it's better to err on the side of caution and still use your
Yeah.
ability just in case,
Mhm.
because it's not a guarantee that the Ryan's gonna block it.
I think you should save your Xenol for other things that shatter. Honestly, there's
Yeah.
more counterplay. There's more counterplay to shatter than like the Zarya could bubble. The like Ryan could do his job and block. Like there's a lot of things that you could do. Maybe if like it's super desperation and you see the Ryan's gonna like big shatter everyone and like he's in a flank, maybe you use it. But if not, like I would say like you don't trans the shatter.
Okay.
With a Zarya especially, since like you want to use it more on a Zarya combo.
Okay. Alright, great, thanks.
For EMP though, like that's a good thing to react to.
Yeah.
But for shatter, maybe not.
Here you go.
No! Oh my god, I got.
What do we do for
I
EMPs?
just died.
Like usually
Get
we're
out,
running
just die, get out.
Lucio Zen dive.
Gonna try to get out.
The rule is like
Good job getting
if
out.
Zen's
What do
gonna
we
get
have?
hit
What
by
do we
it, then you
have?
then you
We
trance,
have nano shatter.
and then if
zoom.
supports don't get hit by it, you just beat
Probably-
after.
I'm gonna switch to
Yeah.
Mercy.
I'll try to shatter. Oh fuck! I charged right into them. Oh no.
It's kind of like hard to implement though.
Okay,
they're
so,
like kind of
Jason,
complicated
can you get
rules.
in or no?
Usually like you don't have that much time to react to EMP. Maybe if you can do it,
Like,
definitely
can you
do
get
it.
into
But like
the-
Did you get booped off of the point here, Jordan?
What?
over here on the OT push.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not sure though.
Alright, I'm
I
pushing
don't know.
forward.
I'll bubble you. Text whenever. Actually, no. I think I'm gonna.
Oh, you know,
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
you
got
did,
completely
yeah,
shredded.
Oh, I got
What
it.
you got?
This is one.
I can res this.
I got booped out.
Yeah, I thought we still had tanks pushing up main, so I went for the kill on the Widow instead of going back to point.
Did they get in ticks?
No, they didn't.
Okay. I mean, I think should we watch the last one or not?
I have to go now.
Yeah. I don't think we need to watch the last one though.